Hola, ¿qué tal? Hello, how are you doing? This is Actualidad MOTOGP, and we are about to start the FP2 of Moto3. This is live. This is Austria. I-Time Motorrad Grand Prix von Österreich. This is the official or local name of the Grand Prix. We're going to be covering the FP2, Moto3 FP2, MotoGP FP2 after this. And we're gonna be covering until this Friday session ends up. Okay, let's talk about at the moment. The new here is that where he is now. Martin is back on track. He's 7th now. As you remember, he broke his left arm last week.
This is almost as consistent as we've seen in Grand Prix racing. 5 race weekends on the points where he is showing towards the sharp end. Good stuff from the Scotsman.
Yeah, and stuff like that, which is pretty much all but cemented a ride for him here next year. Hot rumour is he will be partnering either Adam Norridin or Yumi Sasaki in the sprint racing Sepang International Circuit squad next season. So it seems he will be back on Honda machinery.
Ok, pues volvemos a estar aquí. Tenemos a Martín en pista. Tenemos a Martín en pista después del accidente que tuvo la semana pasada en la República Checa, en Brno. Y parece que no está yendo mal. Está en el top 10 y ahora está mejorando. Veremos cómo podrá soportar el paso de la carrera entera, que eso no va a ser tan fácil. So the new here. Hey, Forja, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, tío. Me alegro mucho. A ver, estoy investigando en el tema de Álvaro. He estado investigando y he tenido algunas noticias de primera mano o de segunda. Y la verdad es que estoy bastante convencido de que acabará en Superbikes. Y me sabe mal, ¿eh? Me sabe mal porque creo que debería quedarse en MotoGP, pero parece ser que Rasalis, que era la opción, ¿no?, de que Gaspar Nieto pudiera pues bueno, facilitar esta plaza para Bautista. Al parecer, yo creo que Nieto Gaspar Nieto vende las plazas, pero no se queda con una posición dominante en cuanto a la toma de decisiones. Entonces, bueno, yo creo que sí, Forja, le están ofreciendo, a ver, lo tiene muy bien, ¿eh? O sea, joder, ya me gustaría a mí, pero claro, lo que queríamos es que se quedara en MotoGP, pero lo tiene muy bien porque hablan de que se pueda quedar como piloto probador en Ducati, con lo cual tienes la puerta abierta de un wildcard o de poder volver a entrar, y a la vez estás haciendo el campeonato de Superbikes con material para ser campeón. Y Álvaro con un material de primera va a ser campeón de Superbikes, o sea que eso también no está mal, ¿eh? Pero bueno, estamos intentando apurar las últimas esperanzas de a ver si se pillaba una MotoGP. Ok. De momento, la noticia aquí en Moto3 es que Martín vuelve. Y no lo está haciendo mal de momento. Voy a enseñaros una cosa, ¿vale? Y así hablamos un poco de lo que ha pasado esta mañana en MotoGP. se confirman los no temores, pero lo que se estaba hablando. Esto es como ha acabado el FP1 de la mañana. Se hablaba de que las Ducati iban a dominar y las Ducati iban a dominar, porque además han sido vueltas con ritmo constante, o sea, tanto Jorge como Andrea, porque podía haber, al final Andrea ha bajado un poco más, pero bueno, Jorge no ha estado lejos. Si os fijáis, hay un salto muy grande entre Lorenzo ya y Petrucci, que es la tercera Ducati, y luego Marc está a casi 6 décimas. Además, a Marc lo hemos visto muy descontrolado en las frenadas, intentando compensar en las frenadas lo que está perdiendo en aceleración, estoy seguro. Muy descontrolado. La Suzuki se ha colado por ahí. Dani ha estado bien. Dani ha estado bastante bien. Sí, además las dan en abierto las Superbikes, sí, es verdad. Las vamos a seguir también, Y sobre todo si va Álvaro, está claro. Dani ha estado bien, Cratchlow, Rabat. Las alarmas ya saltan para las Yamaha. O sea, Maverick hasta 3 minutos de acabar la primera tanda ha estado el 20. O sea, Maverick tiene un problema hasta un segundo, pero bueno, yo creo que a nivel de ritmo es más que eso. Y Rossi aún está un poquito peor, aunque Rossi no ha estado tan mal todo el entreno. Entonces, bueno, esto es lo que ha pasado. Volvamos al live timing de Moto 3, que es donde estamos ahora. This is Moto 3 FP2 live. Muy bien. Pues entonces, Forja, ¿qué hacemos? ¿Ya nos empezamos a montar el rollo para las Superbikes o hacemos el vídeo a ver si conseguimos que Rasali se vuelva loco y se dé cuenta de que lo que tiene que hacer es eso? Porque, a ver, me gusta la idea de Superbikes, ¿eh? Seguro que nos vamos hacia allá con mucho más fuerza que si solo cogemos a uno de los que ya esté, digamos, ¿no? Bueno, lo vamos comentando. Vamos a ver qué está pasando en Moto 3. Rodrigo está más rápido. Segundo, Di Gian Antonio. Tercero, Bastianini. Cuarto, Arbolino. Quinto, Bezzecchi. Sexto, Antonelli. Séptimo, Toba. Octavo, Martín, que vuelve de la lesión, acabado de operar. Esperamos que... Bueno, a nivel de ritmo no me preocupa porque lo veo bastante que a nada ha salido y rápido se ha puesto entre los rápidos. Otra cosa es con una fractura con más separación de la que ellos pensaban en las primeras radiografías que se hicieron en Brno. Ahí ya se ha tenido que meter placa y se ha tenido que meter tornillicos. Y claro, eso es es la zona baja del brazo tocando a la muñeca. O sea, ahí va mucha presión. Sí que es la mano izquierda que no tiene, digamos, encima el juego de muñeca del gas y del freno, pero bueno, que eso a longitud de carrera le va a afectar seguro. Vamos a ver, están todos parados. Voy a ver qué está pasando en pista. ¿Cómo que se han parado todos de golpe? Aquí se ve a Martín con buen aspecto. No se le ve... No se le... Han parado por algo. ¿Hay bandera roja? ¿Por qué? Bueno, se puede tirar un poco para atrás y ver qué ha pasado.
And just received a message from Amy Dargan, our particular pit lane reporter in the Moto 2, Moto 3, FP1s and FP3 sessions. Jorge Martin's session is done. He won't be going back out, it seems, again today.
Why would you? See, these guys are putting on their coats. Umbrellas are going up. It's not really that cold out there, man. Has to be said.
No.
Still quite a nice balmy summer day here in Austria.
It was a little bit muggy earlier actually on the way to lunch, but it's the Moto 3 gestures, isn't it?
It's the trademark gesture.
Of a Moto 3 rider.
On to the next one.
On to the next side. Next session, next camera. You're telling us to go away. I don't know. You do a very good impression of it, don't you, Neil?
Pretty sure it is stipulated in Moto 3 riders' contracts that they have to do that when the camera is pointed in their face.
Actually, we should do a social media campaign about that. Like, you do your Moto 3 riders' impression of that particular gesture. We'll have to get someone to do it for us, and then send in your submissions. If I was Antonio, is he going to do it? No, nearly. Oh, okay, he's not.
Good impression of what this guy is doing there.
Yeah, excellent. In case we didn't know, of course. Vale. Now, a Grand Prix winner, of course.
Está empezando a llover. El tiempo no ha parado. The time is running out, but it's starting to rain. And they are all with slicks, obviously. And they just gonna wait to see what's gonna happen if they have to. But you know, there's only 25 minutes left. I don't know if there's gonna be time enough to change the tires and go out with raining tires. So at the moment we have to wait. Nothing happening now. No one is gonna take the chance to get out with a slick in a rainy conditions. It's not raining much, but it looks that it's dangerous in some areas.
Me? I'm just kidding. Absolutely not. There's only one journalist in this room, and there's just a humble.
No. They are unbuilding the motorbikes. I mean, I think they are going to stop.
Marcus, we're getting a great look there at some of
They are losing a whole session with that.
There is that new airbox which they brought in around about Mugello time, I think it was, which is France and Mugello, gave them that extra top speed that allowed Marco Bezzecchi to stay in touch with the likes of Jorge Martin and Fabio Giudice and Antonio in that excellent.
Pues aquí no va a pasar nada, yo creo, ¿eh? Porque no se atreven a salir, se están planteando. Ah, no, están saliendo gente con neumáticos de... No, han salido a probar, pero no vuelven a meterse. Y esto es con neumático de lluvia, pero está muy seco. Están montando neumáticos de lluvia, pero está muy seco. O sea, van a destrozarlos en 2 vueltas. They are using now rain tires, but it's too dry. I mean, it's too dry, and they are gonna burn the tires up in 2 or 3 laps because it's not raining anymore. It doesn't seem like it's raining now.
People also know last week too happy to do so. I've seen several.
Okay. So they are not going to improve the times, that's for sure. So that means that this list is gonna be for the provisional poll because they are not going to improve the times with rain tires. So at the moment, which should be important now, it's to see sensations in that kind of mixed conditions, because it could happen in the race. We don't know exactly yet because it goes changing hour by hour, but that's the possibility. And we'll see, because this is a very strange situation. It is almost 100% dry with some thread of rain, but dry. And they tried to keep on doing with slick tires, but they get scared and they just got in again and they say, okay, put me the rain tires. But the problem is that it's dry. I mean, it's not wet enough, and the motorcycles are moving a lot.
style.
Going to make a correction for us, Neil. Dennis Fonji did not compete here last year. He was in the Czech Republic last year. He's got those the other way around. That was my fault, indeed. I was looking. I looked at my results and I thought, I can't see his Dennis Fonji was not here previously. This is his first time. It actually makes his performance
So it's not gonna be very exciting this time because they cannot improve the times with rain tires, and this is gonna be free time for the riders because they're gonna try something very that it's gonna be unlikely to use it again. So I don't think this is gonna be very profitable. But there's still 21 minutes left, and maybe it's not raining anymore. Let's see if there's someone who dares to get in again and put a slick on, because I think it's dry. I mean, it seems dry.
So many of them just kept saying to their crew chiefs and team managers, no, it's fine, we'll go out. Some of them ended up leaving with 2 minutes and 10 seconds before the checkered flag came out. Well, that's a flying lap, near enough, give or take a couple of seconds. And it was just they were never going to get round. And speaking to some of the members of their team, now a lot of, because of what Cornfarm managed to do, he did manage to clean.
Okay, so the riders are speaking, talking with the mechanics. The faces are like, yeah, we try it, we take the risk. It's too risky for an FP2, and there are people trying the rain tires on dry or almost dry. And yeah, it's not gonna be very productive, this session. The good news is that Martin is back on track. He's 8th. As we said, these times are not going to be improved. At least someone dares to put the slick back on and to get out in these conditions, which are, it's 99% dry, but there's a threat of rain in some places with some wet patches. But you know, it's maybe too risky to take a slick on, but of course you're not going to improve your time with a rain tire.
Spots of rain coming on his screen, so I wonder how long he will remain in the saddle before deciding to come into pit lane. At the moment, still perhaps a little bit of mental rain. 10 minutes left on the clock. And do you know what, Neil? There are a few more riders still actually heading out to pit lane. Nicola Antonelli has just left pit lane.
Yeah, at the moment there are some ones like, I think Otto, he put the slicks on. Otto is riding with slicks. This could be dangerous. He's very fast now, and you can see on the bike cam, you can see some wet patches in some very fast places. Let's see Otto if he can improve in the second. Yes, he still improves in the second. He's gonna have a lot of time. I think at the end some people is gonna regret to don't do it, because let's see if, because maybe there's some parts of the circuit that are totally dry, and there are other parts where are wet patches. Yeah, Otto improves in the third also. Okay, Otto just made the pole so far. He was the bravest one. He was who dared the most, and now he's on pole. Let's see if Rodrigo, who was doubting, he was first. Oh, Otto is improving a lot. Vezek is improving. Let's see. I think Martin is not going to risk. There's no sense to do it. The track's still being risky because you can see some very, very dark wet patches. In some places that are really, really scary. Vale, chicos, un repaso en castellano de lo que ha pasado. Estaba Rodrigo el más rápido y se ha puesto a llover un poco. No mucho, pero los pilotos se han echado para atrás un poco y han dicho que está la pista con algunos parches mojados y está peligrosa. Han entrado y ya los mecánicos han hecho como bueno, vamos a perder la tanda porque no está mojado como para ponerlos de lluvia, pero no se puede ir en slick, está claro. Entonces, bueno, se han quedado parados, quedan 20 y pico de minutos, se han quedado parados y entonces lo que ha pasado es que Hotel, como no llovía, porque no llovía, solo había un poco de parches húmedos, pues ha salido otra vez con slicks. Mientras los que estaban más delante, como Rodrigo y tal, aún se lo estaban pensando y en plan, uy, pero no sé, mucho riesgo. Y Hotel se ha puesto en pole. Ahora mismo no llueve, o sea, la pista, yo creo que los 11 minutos que quedan va a estar en condiciones óptimas. Y además, Hotel lo ha hecho sin rebufo y ahora aquí se van a ayudar con los rebufos. O sea, que es muy probable que esta pole se mejore. Veis aquí viene muy fuerte. Veis aquí en el tercero ya viene en rojo. Viene no mucho por debajo, pero por debajo. Veis que ha mejorado, ha pasado a sexto. Muy bien. Antonio le ha mejorado, no ha cambiado posición. Vale, vamos a ver. Martín no va a salir, yo entiendo. Quedan 11 minutos 30 segundos. Ahora Jean Antonio ha mejorado mucho. Wow, y Hotel viene bajado. Yo creo que estos últimos 10 minutos al final van a ser una lotería porque tal y como está la pista, yo no me creo que Bezzecchi, luchando por el título, se vaya aquí a jugar un accidente grave, porque sigue habiendo en la doble rápida de derechas del T3, que es muy rápido de apoyo, ahí yo sigo viendo una parte del asfalto más oscura. O sea, ahí sigue habiendo un patch. Y claro, están tirando a tope con slicks de seco. O sea, yo, si fuera Martín y su equipo, no saldría esta tonda aún. A ver, ahora quedan 10 minutos. Ya, pero es que siguen habiendo partes oscuras. Si hay alguna caída aquí será grave. Porque el primero se acaba de colar Arbolino ahora al final de la recta de la subida. Sí, no, se ha tapado en cuanto a sol y aunque haga calor, cuando hay partes húmedas o mojadas, da respeto. Porque cuando vas en mojado ya vas más lento, pero cuando vas a tope con seco y tienes una placa, wow, la hostia es de campeonato, ¿eh? Vale, a ver. Bueno. Vale, bueno chicos, voy a hablar un poco porque tengo a una persona aquí de Indonesia que me está diciendo cosas. Voy a hablar un rato en inglés y luego vuelvo al castellano, ¿vale? So, we're still being here. Karim, nice to have you here. Thanks for visiting us. What happened is that there's 9 minutes left because it started raining. This is the FP2 live. Ooh, this is the FP2 live of Moto3 for the Austrian GP. The big news is we have back Martin on track after he broke his left arm last week in Czech Republic. And he's not taking any risk now, and I don't think he's going to be out on track anymore. I'm not sure about that, but he went down to the 19th, but because when they cut, I mean, the time was running out. I mean, race direction didn't stop the race, but the riders saw that it was very, very risky to be riding with slicks with some wet patches. So at the end, some people got out with rain tires, but obviously with an almost dry scenario, they weren't successful. But it went drier and drier, and now they are going down to the record times. And they're still 7 minutes and 50 seconds. So Antonelli is on red. There's 3 reds right now. And Perez is also improving. Okay, after this, we're gonna start with MotoGP live coverage. We have to say that the 2 Ducatis are dominating the circuit. Both, I mean, Dovizioso end up with the fastest time, but the rhythm of both Ducati factory riders is just amazing. It's just impressive. Marquez is not super far away, but he's like 3 to 4 tenths away, which is a lot. Not a world, but it's quite a lot. And you see how the Ducatis make the time. Antonelli, fastest time, 37.8. And let's see also if he can improve that. Who else? I saw Marquez very braking too late, like trying to recoup what he's losing in the acceleration on the brakings. And this is not good because you're gonna waste your front tire. You lose in the pass and you lose in the exit. So, you know, when you have to force that way to be 4/10 away, it looks pretty bad. Of course, Marquez is Marquez, and probably he's going to be able to cut that gap in somehow or some way. But it looks pretty ugly because it looks that the two Ducatis are super far away. It's a good weekend for Danny again. He's doing pretty well. Let's see how it ends up. But he started pretty well. He can be in the second group, not for the yet, but in the second group. And the big problem, it goes to Yamaha. I mean, both Yamaha riders are super far away, like a second away. This is a lot, and we'll see if they can solve this. But it looks pretty ugly for Yamaha right now. Okay, last 4 minutes. The Laporta is improving. He comes from a red in the first. Canet improving, Di Antonio improving, Marcia improving. No sé si sigues ahí, Forja, pero del tema de Bautista vamos a hablar luego en MotoGP un buen rato, ¿eh? Y del tema de Dani, vamos a ver, los que tienen problemas graves son Yamaha. Yamaha tiene problemas graves. Y Ducati va a dominar aquí, al menos eso parece así en primera toma de contacto. So, Rodrigo improving in the third.
Any more beneficial, but 4 minutes to go on the clock.
Judging by the flags that are just opposite our commentary box, the wind has picked up quite a bit as well from earlier in the day. So yes, don't be surprised if 1 or 2 more showers come rolling in as the afternoon progresses.
Did see across the valley on the walk up the stairs towards the media centre, the valley in the mountains opposite at the other end of it, absolutely covered in clouds and rain. So we definitely got away with it a little bit. That's only a couple of kilometres away, mind. Speaking of serious mileage, got some plenty of riders doing a bit of a battle at the final couple of minutes of this session as Gabriel Rodrigo goes top. That is one of 2 only 1:37s that we've seen so far this session. Antonelli and Rodrigo very, very close there, separated by just 0.09 of a second. And all the other riders in 1:38, some way off Jaume Massia's pace earlier on in this session, this morning, sorry.
Yep, Rodrigo was using the Bezzecchi still to a good effect there to set that fastest time of the afternoon. Rodrigo, another good race we saw from him in the Czech Republic. Another good, strong top 6 finish. At one point, I really did think he was going to make a play for the podium on the final lap, but he didn't do anything stupid. It was kind of this new kind of Gabriel Rodrigo we had seen as it gets very tight.
Oh, yeah, very tight. Way too many riders trying to fight for the same piece of tarmac, and it's nearly all sorts of chaos, isn't it?
Yeah, that has to be one of the slowest.
Hay un grupo muy grande de pilotos.
What are you doing? It's
Very
like
big
coming into
group
a sprint finish
trying
of the Tour de
to
France.
take profit of the late streams.
Actually, I think if he did that in the Tour, it'd be an illegal move to change it from his line. Blimey, Adrat Puvapat lifts up Philip Ertel as well there. Get out my way, sunshine. Don't care if you're higher up in the times than me. Where's Adrat Puvapat at the moment? Down in 18th, Philip Ertel up into 6th. But it looks like it could be all change in these final couple of minutes of this session. Some fastest lap times, but I don't think, judging by how much they are up by, they're going to be troubling Jaume Massia's time from this morning.
Yeah, there's still some way off that pace, but Bezzecchi was losing quite a lot of ground in the final sector earlier in this session.
Didn't lose too much in that one, though, did he?
Yeah, it's not the case this time around. Bezzecchi pretty much a full quarter of a second faster now than, well, Rodrigo's previous best. They're now gone into the 1 minute 37, mid 1 minute 37s, and Rodrigo was just a hundredth of a second off the Italian that time around.
Aaron Canet, though, he takes sixth place for the moment. Plenty more fastest laps coming in. Absolutely no sign of that spitting rain anymore as Canet gets it all wrong crossed up. I was wondering why the onboard camera was so wobbly. I thought it would come loose, but no, just getting a bit too squirrely under braking was Canet. He slots in just behind Philip Bertel again. He's gone this wonderful, wonderful stretch, right, sort of right curve, and then a left kink just before we go under braking up towards turn 3 here. Look at that gaggle of Moto 3 riders. Oh, Antonelli gets a little bit wide, just in front of Adam Norridin as well. Going to get a replay now. Is this Canet getting it all wrong? He does indeed. Squirrely, squirrely, squirrely. Gets very annoyed with himself and carries on again.
It's been a little bit loose today as Canet, obviously a crasher in FP1 down at turn 6, showing no ill effects of that. Just put in the 6th fastest time. That landing pretty good here, and normally very cheery at this position. He holds, no matter what's kind of happened to him, but it's noticeable after the race in Brno, he was a little bit.
He did not waste any time celebrating on that cool down lap. He was straight into part firming, like, right, let's get this over and done with. I wanted that win, but I didn't get it.
Yes, rather fancy. He had earmarked that race in Brno as his first win of the season, but it didn't quite happen, as we're seeing the flags at the side of the track there. Right across that, well, rain does seem to be falling again up at that's turn 1 this time. It's the first time we've seen it done at this part of the track. John McPhee has recently taken over at the top of the time sheets here. Just
these riders going to get over the line enough. Some of them are, some of them aren't for one more flying lap. How many of these riders have now finished? They might have just gotten over the line, I think. But the checkered flag is now out. Oh, that is a huge crash there. Oh, Atarak Poupat's gone down heavy there. Oh my goodness, thank goodness he's managed to get up. Nicolo Bulliger, that is a big crash for him as well. That's not what we like to see. And that's turn 1, is it? And that will be the product of a lot of riders trying to fight for the same piece of tarmac that we just saw a few laps ago as well. Antonelli involved as well.
If that's the outside of turn 1 we just saw, the flags that indicate rain is falling there. You'd have to imagine that was the cause of that fall. Nicolo Bulliger, look the camera now. You can see the rain is
that's
falling
quite heavy
heavily.
rain falling. Oh, that's a lot of damage for Atarak Poupat's, isn't it? Antonelli's gotten away with that fairly lightly. That rain, that's actually quite some heavy rain there, actually. That is not good at all. I hope Marco Bezzecchi sees it and slows down accordingly. And it's not so wet over this part of the circuit. He runs wide there. He's been caught out by the rain, I think. Just found a lot less grip than he was anticipating. We see actually just outside our commentary position. That's quite heavy now. And he does run, look at that. Slow it down and back in you go, boys. What's you doing, Bezzecchi? Don't do a wheelie. We're in the pouring rain, lad. What's going on? Why are you doing a stand-up wheelie? On slicks. Go on to turn 1, please. My goodness. Well, Atarak Poupat, I'm glad to see him walking away, but all but gingerly.
Raining again. Raining again.
Looks as though Bulliger took a real batter in there.
It's raining again. And the MotoGP FP2 is starting in.
Goodness, that is absolutely
wow.
In a Moto 3 class, that is enormous. What's happening? It grabbed way too much of a handful of front brake. Atarak Poupat, bless him, just had absolutely nowhere to go, did he?
Wow, Nico Bulliger here had a lot of luck. A lot of luck. And he hurt his hip for sure. His torso and his hip. He fell down on tarmac. Wow. So let's see what's gonna happen with MotoGP now. It looks like Bulliger is walking. No, nothing major.
MotoGP, no doubt that it will be starting
absolutely drenched,
fully wet conditions. Yes.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens in
this is full rain
some issues
now.
here with the circuit in the wind in previous years.
Let's see.
Slowest in lap of the year from John McPhee as he
what's the schedule? The exact schedule.
The track as well as McPhee negotiates turn 6 and 7 on slick tires.
MotoGP FP2 is starting at 2:05. So that's exactly 12 minutes.
Fastest this afternoon.
12 minutes to start, but it's starting to rain.
Also confirmation coming that he'll be stepping up to
So we're not going to change anything. We'll keep on going.
Yeah, that will do his confidence a world of good. Look at that in the top 5. There are 4 KTMs there. We were saying this is very much would be a KTM circuit.
So this morning, yep, 4 KTMs in the top 5 in FP1 as well.
Hang on, Neil. Goodness me, I'm just looking outside, and how drenched is that? I will stay in the media centre, thank you very much. No chance of us going out there. Glad I brought my jacket today as well. That is well and truly drenched. No question about what the conditions will be for MotoGP whatsoever.
If memory serves me correct, man, I think we just had 2 days of fully wet action this year, and both of those days came all the way back in Argentina. Did Steve Day, MotoGP commentator, confirms that. So it has been some time. That was way back in April. Some time that we've had a wet session.
Yeah, well, there we are, Neil. You'll be back with us for FP2 and Moto2 just a little bit later on. But here are the results of Moto3 for today. Your fastest overall is still Gianmarassia from Marco Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi was second in that particular session, second overall. McPhee, with his time, which tops this afternoon's session, moves him up to third overall. For Dalla Porta, Rodrigo, Ertel, Bastianini, Toba, and Arenas. Nicolo Buliga, who was involved in that pile-up, who caused that pile-up just at the end of the session there in 10th from Arbolino, who has improved this session, as has Antonelli. Cornfile and Misaki are in 13th and 14th. Iagura, Canet, and Gian Antonio have all improved so far this session. And then, well, to end the session even, Marcus Ramirez, Stefano Neppa, and Darren Binder, all 3 of them have also improved. Likewise, Andrea Perez, Adam Norodin, Nakarin, Asharat, Puvapap, all improved into some mid-138s. So that session, Jorge Martin went faster this afternoon than he did this morning. He is in 26th overall. He'll be back out tomorrow. Tatsuki Suzuki, Alonso Lopez Sasaki, and Dennis Foggia round out the 30 riders we have here in Moto3 today. And looking at that weather outside, have fun, Steve and Matt. This looks absolutely drenched. Myself and Neil will be back for Moto2, FP2, and let's see what happens in MotoGP, if anything. Do you want me to get you some playing cards on Monopoly or anything like that, Steve? We'll see you in about an hour's time.
Welcome to Austria for the 11th round of the 2018 MotoGP World Championship. Just over 300 kilometres south of Brno in the Czech Republic, where we were 5 days ago, sits the Red Bull Ring Circuit, one of the most picturesque venues on the calendar. We've had no rain in MotoGP since Argentina, until now. It's Free Practice Friday and FP2 in MotoGP. Here is the Red Bull Ring Circuit then in Spielberg, a 4.3 kilometre long layout, of course, changed a little from the original layout that Grand Prix racing used to have a go at. Back through the years, of course, when Valentino Rossi picked up his first ever podium. 3 left corners, although one of those slightly debatable on this first sector, as you head around turn number 1 and then head uphill. There's that left kink, which is classified as turn 2. Then hard on the brakes into turn number 3, one of the tightest corners in the calendar. Open up the gas again until you drop downhill into turn number 4. And then probably the most complex part of the circuit to get right. A series of left-handers, 6 and 7. Change of direction, 8. Downhill, then into turns 9 and 10. It looks simple on paper. It's anything but here in Austria. And since we last joined you this morning. It's absolutely tipping down. This is what it looked like a bit earlier on. Of course, we're flicking on the fast forward button here. Steve Day, Matt Burt and Simon Crafar to talk you through this second free practice session here at the Red Bull Ring. This is before the heavens opened, and it is absolutely rattling down right at this moment in time, as you will see very shortly. No rain since Argentina, and to be honest, even when it was raining there, it wasn't raining as heavy as this. Perhaps the long European summer is finally over. Who knows? 23-degree air temperature, still quite warm. Of course, we saw some hectic wet sessions last year here in Austria, particularly in Moto 2, and just a couple of accidents towards the end of Moto 3 just a moment ago as well. But these are live pictures for you then. You can see that, I mean, it can brighten up quite quickly and dry quite quickly, but at the moment, there is absolutely no chance of anyone going out for a play in this. I think we can agree on that. In terms of free practice, of course, the 3 free practice sessions combined to determine who goes through to Q2. Well, has it already been decided with rain forecast also for tomorrow? You can hear already the thunder and lightning gathering. Matt, this is an absolute nightmare.
Well, we said this morning, didn't we, Steve, with some pretty gloomy and bleak weather forecasts around, it was going to be crucial, that FP1 session this morning. We knew that rain was coming this afternoon. We've got potential rain coming tomorrow morning for FP3. And what that means, we're about to see the standings at the end of practice this morning. It means that Valentino Rossi at the moment struggling, and he'll need a dry FP3 to get into that crucial Q2 session tomorrow afternoon. I don't think, looking out of our commentary box window right now, we're going to have to worry too much about any slick tyre action, sadly, this afternoon here in Austria, because as Steve said, the heavens have quite literally opened. It is torrential rain right now here at the Red Bull Ring, so we're going to see if we do get any riders venturing out onto the circuit, the front and rear medium and soft rain tyres called upon. There's no way this is going to clear up for any kind of dry slick tyre action later on today. But yeah, crucially, well, we mentioned this morning how vital those last 15 minutes of FP1 were going to be. It was almost like a mock Q1, Q2 session, wasn't it? And the big gun missing out, Valentino Rossi, a tough day for him after that technical problem as well this morning. And
sorry, Matt, the thing is about this as well is there were already, I mean, they're not going to go out in this because it's torrential anyway, but there were already coming into the weekend a number of riders that were actually very concerned about riding in the wet.
Every single rider that I spoke to yesterday, Steve, or every single rider whose media before I attended, they were asked about this. There were concerns last year. There was a Moto 2 session which is pretty much washed out. And in the space of 20 minutes, I recall, there was about 11 or 12 crashes. So, yeah, will anybody dare to venture out at any stage? Right now, we're already starting to get a bit of a standing water forming. Andrea Dovizioso, your Brno winner 5 days ago, topped this morning's FP1 with a 1:23.830. The only man in the 1:23s this morning. Lorenzo Petrucci led an old Ducati 1:23. Then it was Marc Marquez, Andrea Iannone, 2016 winner here, of course. Danny Pedrosa, Cal Crutchlow, Tito Rabat, Johan Zarco, Maverick Vinales. Now, the man to miss out after an early technical problem, Valentino Rossi. Well, he's not going to improve in this second practice session. He's going to be praying for a dry FP3 tomorrow, Rossi. Otherwise, he's already facing the prospect of a place in Q1. Just behind Rossi was Aleix Espargaro, Albert Bautista, Alex Rins, and Bradley Smith, the lone warrior this weekend for KTM with Mika Kallio sideline. He was scheduled to have a wildcard this weekend. Of course, Paul Espargaro recovering from that nasty, horrible crash in the walk in the Czech Republic just 5 days ago. A bit further down the order, Taka Nakagami on his 150th Grand Prix start. Frank Morbidelli, Jack Miller-Scorini, and Carol Abraham were your top 20. But based on what we heard yesterday, Steve, yeah, I'll be very surprised at this stage whether anybody decides to even have a look, because although actually in the last sort of 30 seconds, it just shows in the Styrian Mountains here in Austria how quickly the weather can change. The rain actually, compared to about a minute ago, has already eased off. Trust me when I say eased off. These are live pictures. A few minutes ago, it was absolutely bucketing down.
Yeah, well, you can hear that it was coming down like steroids, but it has changed quite considerably, and it could change. The sun, once it comes out here, the last few days, we said in FP1 earlier, we've been here since
the
Monday.
start has been delayed.
Everything changes.
It's raining now, heavily raining.
Capirossi and Franco Uncini. We've got a great vantage point here at our commentary position. Franco Uncini and Loris Capirossi, of course, two very important figures in MotoGP. They're part of the safety commission. We can just see Franco Uncini and Loris Capirossi now. They've just jumped in the BMW safety car, and they're now heading out for a look at this this Red Bull Ring circuit just to see whether there's any concerns about standing water. Most fans are having to brave it and stick it out right now because it is pretty dreadful weather. The safety car I can see now going up the pit lane with Loris Capirossi and Franco Mancini on board. They're just going to have a quick circuit inspection here to find out what the current condition of the circuit is. And of course, their main concern is going to be, have we got any standing water?
Session has been delayed due to track conditions. No surprise there. As the guys roar out onto the circuit in the BMW. You'll see some pictures of that in just a moment, I'm sure. But of course, the last time that BMW was taken out in conditions like this, I think, because it was raining in Argentina, but they didn't have to check, would probably actually be when they artificially soaked the circuit in Qatar, right in the Qatar test at the start of the season.
Well, while there's a short delay while Franco Mancini and Loris Capirossi circulate the track in the BMW safety car. So it's 2:04 p.m. local time here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. You can see there the pit lane, top left-hand corner of your screen. The pit lane will open in about 6 minutes time.
6 minutos. Está Capirossi con el BMW pasando por la pista, viendo que si se puede salir o no. Está claro que como está lloviendo ahora mismo, van a salir con neumáticos de lluvia. O sea, estos tiempos, esto es un problemón para Yamaha. Esto es un problemón para Yamaha porque no van a poder mejorar los tiempos. This is a big trouble for both Yamaha factory riders because they are not going to be able to improve the times. And they are, right now, both of them, they are out of the Q2. So if it looks like tomorrow could rain again, because if you see the mountains and the clouds and the stormy kind of weather, it looks pretty ugly. I mean, this is going to be unstable for the whole weekend. So, now it's raining super hard. You can see the M3 is using Capirossi to go around the track. And it's raining very heavily now. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. We have to wait.
Raining circuit in the world, but the rain is just so torrential. It's not going to dry away very, very quickly.
Those guys getting themselves suitably equipped. There's Al Crutchlow just having a good chat there with
Crutchlow and Sam Lowe's making fun and box. Wow, it's heavily raining. Bautista. Yeah, es una rockstar, tío. El tío es muy bueno, de verdad. El tío es muy bueno. Es muy bueno con los medios, es simpático, es guaperillas, no la lía fuera de la pista. Este tío, qué pena. Bueno, a ver, qué pena, que se va a ir.
We know, unfortunately, despite a fantastic current run of form on that Angel Nieto Ducati, Alvaro Bautista, without a ride in MotoGP next year and no options, every door seems to have been slammed shut in his face. It does seem, though, he's been in some detailed discussion, no surprise, of course, given his current form, with Ducati, with the factory Ducati team. It seems like Chaz Davies confirmed for next year in their factory Ducati World Superbike team, and now it basically seems like a straight toss-up between Marco Melandri and Alvaro Bautista. With Eugene Laverty also his name's still involved as well. But Bautista, of course, already has connections with Ducati, riding a MotoGP bike with them the last couple of years. And I'm sure Ducati, his recent performances has caught their attention, thinking, well, he's a top-notch rider, Alvaro. Definitely had some value to the World Superbike Championship on a factory Ducati over there, Steve. Maybe we'll do some damage.
Well, the thing is, Matt, he's hungry. He's 33. He's a top-quality rider. I think he'd be an excellent addition to the World Superbike paddock. If I'm being completely honest, it would be a shame to lose him from MotoGP, but they are looking for a bit more competition over there, so it would be good. Some heavy standing water here. Let's just pop down to a very wet, I'm sure, Simon Crafer.
Guys, I look like one of those fishermen, you know, and there's waders with a microphone instead of a fishing rod. I'm standing at the Ducati garage with Paolo Ciabatti. And Paolo, first, I've got a couple of questions for you. First of all, this morning, we saw like Jorge Lorenzo going so quick, you know, second fastest in the session. But when you look through his sector times, sector 3, which is more of a rider flowing where you would expect him to be fast. You know, Jorge's good in the corner speed. He was losing 0.4 around. Do you have any idea why this is?
No, I think, as you know, it was the first session, so the setup was not really still perfect, and I think, unfortunately, it looks like this session in the afternoon is lost, which is a shame, because if we could work all 4 sessions to prepare the race, it's the same for everybody. But I think they had a thorough check of the situation, tried to fix this part where it was losing a little bit, but all in all, it was a good beginning for Ducati. All the GP18s, the 3 GP18s are the first 3 position. Obviously,
Dani, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Sí, la verdad es que Dani ha estado fino de salida, teniendo en cuenta que las Ducati están muy por delante. O sea, las Ducati están ahora mismo dominando aquí muy bestia. Y ha salido fino. El problema está en que ahora está cayendo aquí la del final de todos los tiempos, que van a tener que salir en kayak, y esto rompe un poco, pues claro, está todo el mundo en box, y ahora la que empiecen a tirar tiempos, buah, es que yo creo que en unas condiciones así seguramente la carrera se suspendería. O sea, ahora parece que floja un poco, pero es que hasta hace un momento estaba cayendo con una fuerza increíble. Hay lluvia, sí, sí. Y va a estar todo el fin de semana, ¿eh? Porque se ven unas nubes y los árboles y ves un poco la neblina esa de tormenta. Pinta que va a estar todo el fin de semana, ¿eh? Entonces esto puede ser... Bueno, veremos. Es una carrera de esas raras, ya lo verás, ¿eh? Porque en seco dominan las Ducati, claro, pero claro, en unas condiciones así mixtas, en que pueda llover en una tanda, no en la otra, bueno, ya sabes, no nos había dado lluvia de hacía mucho, pero ahora este fin de semana aquí va a ser raro. Cosa que, hombre, a ver, Dani últimamente ha ganado alguna carrera en mojado, ¿eh? Si le funciona la moto y tracciona y tal, pero claro, yo preferiría seco. Pero bueno, va a ser mixto. Vale, pues vamos a ver qué está pasando ahora mismo. Sigue todo el mundo en el box. Está lloviendo, ya no tanta tromba, tanta agua, pero sigue lloviendo. Ya se nota que al pasar el coche ahora ya no levanta tantísimo spray. Ahora ya, bueno, sí levanta, pero ya no es lo de antes. Lorenzo en el box, se le ve tranquilo, se le ve confiado. A ver, este fin de semana será complicado, porque ahora venían de varias carreras donde todas las sesiones eran... El problema es calentar los neumáticos. Sí, claro, ahora a ver quién se... Ve tú que a mí me da la risa, ¿no? Yo los veo muy tranquilos en el box, en plan de, buah, lo que ha pasado en Moto 3, ¿no? Si se pone a llover un poco y tal, en slicks no se puede. Pero es que con el neumático de mojado tiene que ser en lluvia. Entonces, bueno, veremos. Ahora están todos en el box esperando y hasta que Capirossi no deje de dar vueltas con el BMW y entre a decir esto está así, que puede ser hasta la cancelación, ¿eh? Ahora parece que ha parado de llover. Aún llueve, pero ya se ve una lluvia más fina. ¿Qué tal? ¿Estás trabajando o qué, Daniel? ¿Estás en el curro? Sí, está parada la sesión. Ahora mismo está Capirossi dando vueltas con el BMW y cuando entre a decir qué hay, se tomará una decisión. Pero ha caído una tromba muy fuerte. Ahora parece que está parando. Ahora ya no parece que llueva tan fuerte, pero aún está el coche dando vueltas, del safety car dando vueltas para... Ha habido un momento en que parecía un río. Sí, te digo que si estás trabajando, Dani. Bueno, no lo sé. Estarás en el LP, ¿no? Digo yo. Bueno, si no, pues tómate una cervecita a mi salud. Vamos a ver qué pasa, no lo sé, porque es que ahora sigue dando vueltas el BMW, los pilotos están de cachondeo en el box, Bradley Smith aquí haciendo bromas, bueno, hay bastante lluvia, se ve en los cortados de cámara que cae agua, en la zona del box parece que menos, pero donde se ve mucho es cuando pasa el coche. O sea que ves que hay mucha agua en la pista. Ah, Daniel, ¿qué pasa? Perdona, te he confundido, tío, Daniel. Disculpa, te he confundido. Te he confundido, perdona. Te he confundido con Daniel. Vale, pues bienvenido, Daniel. Bueno, ya nos conocemos. Es que te he confundido con el otro Daniel. Vale, pues están todos parados. Es que ahora mismo los 10 primeros, claro, ahora lo que hay cargado en pantalla es lo que ha quedado, digamos, como fijo. O sea, fijo, de la FP1, ¿vale? Entonces, fíjate que Rossi está fuera de la Q2. Y Viñales, bueno, sí, es el último de los que pasa directo, pero ahora mismo Rossi no va a poder mejorar. Hoy Rossi no puede mejorar. O sea, Rossi se queda fuera de la Q2. Y Aleix, Álvaro, Alex se quedan fuera también. De momento, porque ahora no se va a poder mejorar. Aunque se decida volver a entrar, mejorar no se va a mejorar.
Started raining on us, so no, a bit unfortunate, but in regards to riding here in the wet, I think everyone's a bit hesitant. As we saw last year with the Moto2s, when they went out, there was a lot of rubber in the braking zones of turn 1 and turn 3, and a lot of guys locked it straight up and down. So they've told us in safety commission that they sandblasted, like a sandblasting almost, the braking zones, and to try and get rid of some of the rubber that was left from the Formula 1 cars and whatnot. But still, it's a big amount of speed and there's not too much runoff on either side, so I think I'll wait a little bit and see if anyone else goes out first.
Best of luck, Jack.
Cheers.
As you can see there, just confirmation that pit lane will open at 2:20, so the guys have had a good look around and they think that it's just about ready. It looks like it has eased off considerably, Matt. Just quickly going back to that point on KTM in terms of the rut that they're stuck in with Mika Kallio, of course, being injured.
Yeah, well, they're in a hole right now because obviously Mika Kallio was such a valuable asset for them, leading development behind the scenes of that KTM RC16 machine. And with Mika sidelined indefinitely, really, with that serious knee injury, they've got nobody to test that motorcycle. Now, for next year, they've already confirmed, because of this scenario, they're already taking action to avoid that situation emerging again next year. KTM in that lunch break press conference with Pit Byra and their CEO, Stephen Pierre, are confirming that next year they will extend their test team to a two-rider effort. Mika Kallio will be retained. All kinds of names being mentioned for the second test rider role. Bradley Smith they're in negotiation with. I've seen Bradley's manager Bob Moore knocking around the paddock this weekend. He's trying to tie up deals with various riders, including Remy Gardner. Danny Pedrosa, who we mentioned last weekend in Brno, talking to KTM about a possible test rider role. There's competition for KTM with that because, of course, Pedrosa, it seems like he has an option to take up a role as a Honda test rider. And you think that Danny may well want to keep his connections with Honda, his career-long connections, to have an ambassadorial role as well. Jonas Folger's name's crept in that equation as well for the KTM test ride. So we'll keep you posted on that one.
Guys, I just sprinted to the other
Jolín.
end.
Daniel, pues oye, yo también soy de Pedrosa toda la vida con el Dani. Joder. Bueno, tú eres jovencillo, tú lo has conocido ya de mayor, pero los que lo hemos seguido toda la vida, sí, tenemos con Pedrosa. Y yo soy del Barça, aunque el Betis me es muy simpático y me cae muy bien. Vale, pues... Vale, Capirosi está diciendo que no le parece que esté muy mal.
Yeah, sure. Last year, especially during the MOto2 practice in the rain, we have a lot of problems to turn 1, 3, and 4 on the braking point. But I think in the circuit do a great work to try to take off the much rubber he can, and we have to test it, and we hope it's better than last year.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, Simon. Good catch there, getting a good catch with your fishing rod there to get Loris Capirossi here in these conditions. It has just started raining heavily again, so whether or not riders will just wait for a bit. We just saw there Hafiz siren, of course, and the first thing he did, surprise, surprise, was point to his nickname on his gloves. Pescao, of course, which equates to fish. Loves these conditions. Not really had a proper chance to see what he's capable of actually on a motor.
Vale, bueno, Capirossi lo que ha dicho es que no está del todo mal, que se puede salir, que hay un par de puntos de peligro, sobre todo en zonas de frenada. Ha comentado un par de lugares donde hace badén de frenada y ahí se puede quedar más humedad o incluso un pequeño charco y que las frenadas pueden ser peligrosas en 2 o 3 puntos. Pero bueno, como sigue lloviendo, yo entiendo que tendrán que salir con neumáticos de lluvia, que es algo que deben de probar porque este fin de semana puede pasar. Este fin de semana puede pasar, lo sabemos que este fin de semana apunta que va a volver a pasar. Pues bueno, acaba de decir esto, Daniel Gómez nos dice que sí se va a abrir el pit lane. En principio Capirossi ha dicho que se puede salir, pero claro, se va a salir con neumáticos de lluvia. Pero está dejando de llover, o sea que vamos a ver exactamente lo que pasa. En todo caso, ahora mismo no han salido y veremos en el live timing, ya sabemos por el delay que hay de 50 segundos, a la que salgan a pista en la lista del live timing lo veremos antes que en ningún otro sitio. Lo veremos casi un minuto antes que en el vídeo. O sea que, bueno, estamos en directo. En el momento en que pase, ahí estaremos.
Session on Sunday morning. For a half an hour after the crash, he had no feeling at all in his arms and legs. He's only just regained the feeling in his fingers to touch on Wednesday night a couple of days ago. It's been a torrid few days for Paul Espargaro, but great there to see him. All smiles on his road to recovery. We hope to see Paul back in action at Silverstone in a couple of weeks' time. And great to see his rehabilitation. Looks to be going as well as it possibly can after a pretty nasty injury, an inflammation of his spinal cord. The doctors were actually saying he's very, very lucky that it wasn't more serious. You couldn't quite see there from that FaceTime connection with elder brother relationship, Spargaro, but he looks pretty beaten up. He looks like he's done a few rounds with old Mike Tyson, does Paul?
This is from earlier on. Marc Marquez getting it a bit squirrely over the hill there into turn number 9. He had to sit this one up. If you've just tuned in, it's heavily raining, but the session has actually reopened. So the clock is counting down. We've got 43 minutes left of the session.
El tiempo está corriendo, ¿eh?
El
tiempo ya está corriendo.
Interested in entertaining the idea of going out there at this precise moment in time.
Marquez looking on there at that moment.
La pista está abierta, pero no sale nadie.
Paolo Giabatti was absolutely spot on the money when he said that, yeah, it was a great morning session for Ducati. They did take that one.
Vale, acaban de abrir, bueno, hace ya un minuto y pico que está rodando el tiempo, pero no veo a los pilotos con mucha prisa por salir. Está lloviendo, lloviendo. No ha parado de llover. Y ahora sí que se ve que está, bueno, que está lloviendo constante. O sea, habían sido como ráfagas y ahora parece que se está estabilizando.
Towards the end of that session, so Marquez may well have been half a second off the Dovizioso's pace, but he's in the game.
He certainly is, yeah. You just get the feeling if it is dry on Sunday that we are going to get maybe a similar encounter as to what we witnessed 5 days ago with Lorenzo Dovizioso and Marc Marquez. It doesn't look like it's raining heavily on that screenshot that you're looking at there, but from our commentary box window, it's absolutely throwing it down again.
Yeah, that would be localised rain because it doesn't look like it's raining up at turn 3, does it? But yeah, it is pouring down out of our commentary box view, lashing it down on the grid. You just hear sounds like the noise of a motorcycle being fired up in the background. I don't know if that's the Tech 3 of...
Es una situación meteorológica rara porque está lloviendo fuerte en algunas curvas y hay otras zonas que parece que esté seco. Entonces, esto puede ser el juego del fin de semana. Si fuera seco, sería una cosa entre... Sí, Daniel, Jorge Martín ha salido en la de la mañana. Lo que pasa que también ha llovido un poco, se ha cortado, luego ya han empezado a salir con neumáticos de lluvia, pero se ha secado y los más atrevidos han montado slick con parches húmedos aún. Y la cuestión es que ha salido, pero luego ya no se ha querido arriesgar con esas condiciones. No ha acabado muy bien, creo que al final, como todo el mundo, ha salido y ha bajado el tiempo. Pero bueno, ha salido, se ha probado y después de la operación tan reciente, eso ya es muy buena noticia, sin duda.
Well, there's only really the main grandstand, Steve, at the Red Bull Ring, where you're offered any kind of protection from the elements. There's vast grandstands that surround this spectacular, this scenic and picturesque Red Bull Ring, but they are all open-air grandstands, so you don't get a lot of protection. As Gigi Dellini looks on, Ducati Corsa General Manager, happy memories here, of course, for that man and the Ducati camp. Back-to-back wins here for Andrea Iannone in 2016 and Andrea Dovizioso last year. In fact, Ducati's win here for Iannone 2 years ago was their first.
Ok, sale el primero. Rins es el primero a salir. Rins is first getting out with soft rain tires on his bike.
There are the clouds and the mist and the rain amongst the Styrian mountains. Here is a man that's not perhaps enjoyed his best season in Grand Prix racing, Tom Luthi. His first year in MotoGP.
Vale, ha salido Rins el primero con neumáticos de lluvia blandos. Vale, ahora vamos a basarnos en el live timing porque el vídeo que va con la retransmisión va a unos 50 segundos por detrás de lo que está pasando en el live timing. Por tanto, en pantalla, como ya vemos, Rins ha sido el primero a salir a pista con neumáticos de lluvia. Yo entiendo que con un fin de semana... Hello and welcome to Amjad Zailani. Thanks for being a new subscriber of Actualidad MotoGP TV. We speak in English and we speak in Spanish. Normally, because the commentators of MotoGP are a lot better than I am, I prefer to let them talk and I just translate to the Spanish. But sometimes I also speak in Spanish. So if you are in the chat, just let me know and I will speak in English if it's better for you. Welcome. Hola Giovanni, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Me alegro de verte por aquí. Vale, pues ahora mismo el segundo en salir es Zarco. El segundo en salir es Zarco. Voy a ver cómo se ven las motos. Mucha agua, ¿eh? Muchísima agua.
But this morning it was much better than last year and then the 2 years ago. And then we'll try some more. We've got some idea, but I think it will be really difficult to fight against the Ducati. They're really strong here. But we will try. And then you know, our target, if we cannot fight for the podium or top fight, we will fight. We will do our best with what we got. And we've been fast every race right this year.
Amjad Zailani, thank you very much for being here. It's been a very strange kind of session. You're very welcome. We've been waiting many minutes because it started a heavy rain suddenly, and you know, the riders were like getting into box, and now finally Zarco and Rins are out on track with rain tires, and we'll see, because obviously they are not going to improve the times of this morning under the rain, but of course they have to test this rain setting, because it looks like it could be a very unstable weather weekend for tomorrow and also for Sunday. So welcome, I'm Amjad, and I wish to see you soon. Thanks for coming.
He can maybe think that if we have this, he could fight until the end with them for the podium. But you know, it's just a rider thing and a team thing. We feel the same. You know, it's like you always want more, and you always want what the other guy have. But it's okay. It's over. You know, we're gonna stay focused, and he's everybody know Carl. And after a race, you know, he can be. He's always one more. He's a fighter, and then. But we will have it when, you know, it's difficult to know, you know. Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Christian.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks to Christophe Bourguignon there. Then the crew chief to LCR Honda's Cal Crutchlow. Yeah, Cal actually made this, well, a strong case for himself to have that carbon fibre swing arm, didn't he? In Brno. As you look at Alex Rins and Johan Zarco now, Rins has come quickly back into pit. Zarco now has the Red Bull ring all to himself, the 2016 Moto2 winner here a couple of years ago. Crutchlow said last weekend in Brno, he didn't have the rear grip to go with Marquez.
Solo se ha quedado Zarco en pista, Rins se ha vuelto a meter y quedan 35 minutos con toda la parrilla en boxes. Vaya cara se nos ha quedado.
There was a carbon fibre swing arm potentially knocking around imminently for Cal Crutchlow, but unfortunately it was wrecked by Stefan Bradl on the first lap when he was caught up with Bradley Smith and Maverick Vinales just 5 days to go in Brno. So Cal, unfortunately, is going to have to play and continue the waiting game on that one.
Speaking of playing, and Cal Crutchlow, he actually said that Dovizioso was playing with his food, in his opinion, last time out in Brno. He said he was literally playing with him. He was absolutely shocked at how slow the pace was in the early stages. And he just believed that at any given time, Dovizioso was going to flip the switch, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Although his tactics didn't completely go to plan, at the end of the day, you won the race. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's hear from Simon again.
Guys, I heard you mention Stefan Bradl's name, and we happened to be passing each other in the pit lane at the time because Stefan's doing the pit lane for a German TV channel, I imagine. And I thought I'd grab you for a moment and ask if you can give us a bit of a description what it's like to ride one of these bikes. You know, you rode the last race and also at Sachsenring. What do you think of them?
Well, basically these bikes, I'm more or less happy to be not in the position to ride now because, you know, this track in that condition is very tricky. And no, but basically these bikes are rocket ships. I mean, they're so fast, you have to calm them down with the electronics, with everything. And it became, more physically to ride them. And as you could see that this one now it's a bit tricky with all the conditions, but see what happens later on.
Now we have you. Sorry to put you in this position, but can you tell us what happened last week? Because we couldn't see it on the television.
No, honestly, after some time when I was watching some pictures, whatever, because I went to Race Direction and they didn't show me anything because they had no images. Finally I also spoke with Maverick and with Bradley. So at the end, it was a race incident. Unfortunately, yes, I made a mistake, and I'm responsible for the crash somehow because there was like Bradley touching Maverick a little bit on the braking zone. So Maverick had to release the brake a little bit, and at that time I was on the inside trying to show Maverick that I'm there, trying to show that my front wheel is there to open a little bit, that he will open, but also he had a little bit of a push from behind. And then I was on the inside, and I probably brake a little bit late and aggressive. I lost the front in the first lap, and then my bike, the cop-out, Bradley and Maverick. Sorry for this, but you know, it was super tight, super fast. So yeah, but all is good. Everyone is fine. That's the most important.
We have all done it. Don't feel so bad.
Thank you.
Thanks very much to Stefan Bradl there for talking to Simon Crafar.
Muy bien, acaba de hablar Stefan Bradl sobre la caída en la primera curva de Brno, donde entra Bradley Smith muy por dentro. Bueno, ha explicado un poco la situación y bueno, son cosas que pasan en las carreras. Evidentemente Maverick se pide un cabreo brutal. Que por cierto, el tema de Maverick me he propuesto, bueno, ya que hay aquí hay una cosa que me gustaría compartir con vosotros, sobre todo para los españoles. Vamos a ver, porque aquí es una cosa que me gustaría mucho comentarla, sobre todo para el tema de los españoles. Lo encontré ayer. A ver si aquí. A ver, porque... Pues no la encuentro ahora mismo, vaya tela. A ver. Bueno, os voy a poner la noticia. Yo creo que aquí mundomotero.com, no hay una sola causa. A ver, me hubiera gustado poneros el vídeo que encontré, porque él lo dice en primera persona y creo que es bastante grave una cosa así. O sea, yo he sido un defensor de Maverick toda la vida, ¿eh? O sea, desde el principio y tal, pero esto me parece bastante raro, la verdad. Bueno, os conseguiré el vídeo y os lo pondré en una futura ocasión, ¿vale? Pero es un tema que ahora mismo, por ejemplo, las Yamaha tienen un problema, porque no van a tener muchas más sesiones de seco. Aunque, claro, quizá al final acaba siendo mojado.
Paul Espargaro's crew chief, and because Paul's not here this weekend, what's your role?
Yeah, I mean, you know...
Vale, Rossi sale a pista.
So we've been in this project from the beginning, so it feels a little bit like my baby also. So it's something I wanted to come and support and try to get the best result for our company on our home Grand Prix. Also, it gives me a chance to go out on track and see a little bit more about what the other boys are doing out there and trying to understand the differences in the bike for myself.
Buah, la pista está peligrosa, ¿eh?
Is there much chance of Paul riding at Silverstone? Your opinion?
I mean, to be honest, we've just heard that he's gone home.
Alejandro, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Me alegro de verte por aquí. Alejandro Denis. Oye, antes me ha pasado una cosa. Me ha pasado una cosa. Ha entrado Daniel en el chat y lo he confundido con Roberto, tío. Se me ha ido la olla porque he asociado Dani al tema en común que tenemos con Roberto y se me ha ido la olla, tío. Los he confundido. Que están en lluvias, ¿eh? Sí, Alejandro. Está cayendo una... Ha salido muy poca gente a pista. De momento solo han salido Sharin, Redding, Rossi y Zarco. Y ha salido Rins, pero Rins ha dado solo una vuelta y se ha vuelto a meter. Sí, no van a poder mejorar los tiempos de la mañana, eso está claro. Está lloviendo mucho, esto no se va a secar con los 27 minutos que quedan. esto no creo yo que se vaya a secar. Viñales ni se plantea salir, una cara de tieso que te cagas. Han cogido muchísimo peso los pilotos en las fábricas. Una persona como Forcada que llevaba 11 años en Yamaha, que el piloto se la pueda cepillar así, que al fin de cuentas tiene sentido, ¿eh? Porque el que va a decidir a últimas es el piloto. O sea, el que tiene que ejercer como CEO o como dictador máximo del equipo tiene que ser el piloto, está claro. Pero no entiendo lo de Forcada, no sé. Además me sorprendió mucho este vídeo que ahora parece que Yamaha ya le ha cortado, le ha dicho, oye, no digas nada más. Pero en ese vídeo, y que además es en castellano, por eso lo decía un poco por la gente en castellano, ese vídeo ahí Forcada se suelta la lengua dentro de su corrección y su profesionalidad que ya sabemos, ahí se ve mucha cosa, ¿eh? Sí, en la pausa entre esto y el Moto 2 igual busco el vídeo exacto o lo busco a través de... A ver. Bueno, os lo buscaré. Vale, pues ha salido Rossi, ha salido Rins, ha salido Nakagami, ha salido Redding, Auram, Shiarin. Sí, estoy de acuerdo, Alejandro. Al final el piloto tiene que poder decidir porque en esa tesitura solo se ve él. O sea, tú le puedes decir, no, pero ya. Pero ahí, en ese segundo, ya no te digo en esa décima, si no estás ahí, ¿quién va a decidir? ¿El que no está ahí? No, claro, solo puede decidir el que está ahí. Entonces, ya no sé. Supongo que él busca más una persona, me parece a mí, porque yo me fijo mucho en las reacciones que tienen ellos al llegar a box y cómo se comunican con el que en principio es el director general dentro del box. Y yo creo que por eso el concepto de Ucho con Rossi, ¿no? Es el concepto de que es más una cuestión de que, aunque no necesitas el mejor técnico, necesitas el mejor director. La persona a la que tú le comuniques la información, que ya os entendáis fácil y que esa persona distribuya el trabajo a los técnicos o a quien tenga que hacer lo que quiera. Entonces, me parece que es más una cuestión de confianza personal o de ambición, ¿no? De tú querer ir a un ritmo ya muy alto y el otro ser un poco más prudente y tal, y tú decir, no, vamos a saco aquí. Bueno, manda el piloto, está claro. Alejandro dice, no es por criticar, pero Lorenzo habló sobre ese caso y dijo que es la falta de veteranía. Sinceramente, todo el mundo pasa por ahí y eso me molesta muchísimo, todo el mundo pasó por ahí. Bueno, Rossi tiró a gente de joven, hizo cosas, Mark las hizo, Stoner las hizo. O sea, tú ahí te estás jugando la vida al filo. O sea, no se trata de decir es más bueno, es más malo. Lorenzo como piloto me gusta, como persona me parece un prepotente, es un fantasma. Alejandro. Bueno, al final yo creo que a mí nunca me cayó bien Lorenzo. Yo en la batalla, no sé qué edad tienes tú, Alejandro, pero en la batalla Dani y Lorenzo de tantos años, yo siempre fui de Dani, también porque sigues a un piloto, tal, no sé qué, y a mí Jorge me caía menos simpático, pero con los años me he dado cuenta, primero, que es un superclase, segundo, que muchas veces esa posturita de duro es más un símbolo de timidez, que eso nos pasa, a todos nos pasa un poco, o sea, tú vas ahí con una coraza, digamos, haciéndote el duro, pero en realidad cuanto más te haces el duro normalmente es porque eres tímido, porque cuando tú tienes fama y tienes dinero y tienes una posición, la gente se intenta aprovechar de ti. Entonces, bueno, tú también te tienes que hacer tu personaje público, ¿sabes? Porque tú eres una persona privada que tienes tus movidas y tus historias y tienes que salir ahí a representar un papel y tal. Y yo cada vez me gusta más Lorenzo, me parece que tiene muchos huevos. Tuve la oportunidad de poder hablar en alguna ocasión con Quique, que es su personal assistant dentro del box y todo, se lo lleva siempre. Y yo lo vi, o sea, al final es que la persona que decide es tu jefe o en este caso el piloto, porque va a decidir el piloto, te tenga confianza. Si no te tiene confianza, ya discutiremos si eso se podía haber hecho mejor, peor, pero ya no te tiene la confianza. Entonces, bueno, vamos a ver qué pasa. Por cierto, Viñales acaba de salir, vamos a ver qué pasa al menos en mojado, para saber un poco si durante el fin de semana cae mojado, pues qué va a pasar. A ver.
Great scraps last year in rain conditions. He got the best from Marc Marquez at the Twin Rim Motegi in Japan. A famous duel between the main protagonists in the championship last year. Marquez got the better of Dovizioso, though in the rain conditions he got the better of the two Ducatis, Petrucci and Dovizioso in Misano last year. Scott Redding, almost 3/10 up of Johan Zarco. Scott Redding doesn't have to worry about too many grip issues in the rain. His natural body size, one of the tallest.
Vale, pues al final, como ya está claro que no se va a secar, quedan 19 minutos, eso es seguro, no se seca. It's not gonna be dry. So, the riders at the end have no other choice than to get out on track and at least test the bike with wet tires. So there's 19 minutes to go and almost anyone but Lorenzo, Petrucci, Marquez, Pedrosa, Rabat, Zarco, Spargaró, Smith and Simeon are out on track. It looks pretty dangerous. It's very dangerous and many riders have been talking about this. It's very tricky because there are parts that are with a clear road or line, but in other places that there are a lot of water on the tarmac. So it's very dangerous situation. I suppose the pilots that have nothing to lose in the championship, they are going to try harder. Pues sí, Daniel, es una prueba para la carrera, porque aunque no van a mejorar el tiempo, hay que probar qué pasaría si el domingo llueve. Porque si el domingo llueve, a no ser que como hoy ha pasado, que Capirossi dará varias vueltas con el BMW para comprobar los charcos, si se está acumulando demasiada agua y tal, y en el momento en que Capirossi entre en box el domingo a decir, oye, se puede salir, porque la otra sería decir, oye, no se puede salir, cancelamos o no sé, o se retrasa, pero bueno, ya sabemos cómo es esto. No lo van a poder retrasar mucho, o sea, lo más probable es la cancelación. Si llueve en el momento de la carrera, como ha llovido en la tromba que ha hecho esta tarde, y si se dice que se puede correr, habrá que salir con neumáticos de lluvia. Y ya lo hemos visto otras veces, que hay momentos en los que luego parece que se va secando o no, o llueve más. Bueno, estábamos muy bien acostumbrados a que en las últimas carreras no nos había llovido nada. Por ejemplo, 2016 fue un año horroroso con la lluvia, nos llovió en casi todos los grandes premios Y en cambio llevábamos un 2018 con casi sin lluvia. Llevábamos ahora un montón de carreras sin que lloviera. Pero bueno, esto es parte del juego y esto favorece mucho a Marc. Sí. Forja tiene razón. O sea, veníamos de mucho seco, de que mucha gente se estaba metiendo en ritmos buenos porque tenía muchas sesiones para poner bien el setting y tal. Y claro, ahora aquí lo que has hecho esta mañana ya no te sirve de nada. Ahora tienes que salir con el setting de mojado, que igual tú no lo has probado desde... Igual tienes un setting de mojado de ¿cuánto? No sé, lo tendría que mirar, pero yo creo que este año solo ha llovido... Estoy diciendo de memoria, no sé, a ver. Sí, alguien lo sabe. Argentina, está diciendo Daniel. Pues desde Argentina tú te coges ese setting, te lo pones. Además, como los pilotos no se han creído que había que salir a probar en mojado. Hay que salir a probar en mojado porque no sabes lo que pasará el domingo. Y yo creo que muchos pilotos han malgastado esta tanda. Sobre todo los que están para el título. O sea, esto puede ser una gran oportunidad para un outsider. O sea, alguien que no tenga nada que perder, tipo Miller, tipo Petrucci, tipo Crutchlow, este tipo de segunda línea que dices, va, si llueve y tú te has estado... Bueno, ¿quién ha estado haciendo más vueltas? ¿Zarco? O sea, si llueve el domingo, ya te digo que Rins y Zarco, que son los que más vueltas han hecho en mojado, van a estar ahí. Y en cambio, Lorenzo Dovizioso, de hecho, Pedrosa ni ha salido. ¿Ves? Esto me parece un error de Dani, porque aquí lo que tienes que hacer es probar la moto, testearla en mojado para ver qué te vas a encontrar, pero no una vuelta y no. Eso es lo que harás en el warm-up o en la vuelta de calentamiento de la carrera. Hablo de probar la moto, darle vueltas. Y yo entiendo que ponerse el mono de mojado y choparse hasta los huesos, siendo millonario, pues... Pero hay que hacerlo, tío, es que hay que hacerlo. Bueno, quedan 14 minutos. A ver, este es el acumulado. Voy a poner el cómo están en lluvia, ¿vale? Estaba el combinado y, claro, no estaba mejorando. Vemos que Redding, Zarco, Rins, Rossi, que es muy listo. Hola, Kevin, bienvenido. ¿Qué tal? Kevin Requena. Si llueve el domingo, a las Ducati les favorecerá. Puede ser, pero fíjate lo que está pasando. Teníamos el combinado y ahora he puesto el solo de esta tanda, solo mojado. Por ejemplo, Márquez está tan abajo porque es que ni ha salido. Y Dani ni ha salido. Y con lo que queda, es posible que ni vaya a salir. Carazo error. Entonces vemos que, claro, que gente como Petrucci, Rins, Redding, Zarco, Crutchlow, incluso Rossi, que ha salido a dar muchas vueltas y ahora está mejorando, pueden estar delante. Y claro, las Ducati yo creo que tienen una ventaja en seco. O sea, si fuera seco, las Ducati se largan. Pero si es en mojado, ahora mismo la lista de mojado es esta. Que hay pocas vueltas, que han dado 5, 6, pero bueno, ya ves que Redding ha dado 10, Rossi ha dado 9, Zarco ha dado 11. O sea, y Dani ni sale. Hostia, esto es un error. No está Roberto, pero aquí Dani es ese fin de semana en el que podría hacer algo, porque tiene una buena base y no va ni a probarlo. No lo entiendo. Bueno, Márquez ya se está poniendo a tono y sigue mejorando.
So could be a good chance to test it again.
Listening to a couple of Jack's debriefs, he was explaining how he changed setup, and it helped for lasting, rear tire grip, lasting, longer in the race, so he didn't drop off. And I noticed his race pace is good, but has his qualifying, the one lap, suffered because of that, to get him in a good position at the beginning of the race?
Yeah, the beginning of the season, it was pretty constantly on Q2, but from Mugello on, he missed some good chance to go in Q2 directly. But you know, the performance in this category it's like hell. So it's sometimes
pues,
nothing, but it's enough for.
Viendo lo que se está viendo en pista en mojado, a quien favorecerá la lluvia es a Márquez. Porque Márquez viene mejorando en el primero. Vamos a verlo, pero Márquez es muy bueno. Mejora en el segundo. Que llueva va a favorecer a Márquez. O sea, Márquez solo tiene opciones de perder si es en seco absoluto. O sea, seco, seco, caluroso. Si es así en mixto, habrá que verlo, Vamos a ver qué pasa en el T3 y en el T4, que es donde están los conflictos, sobre todo en el T3. So Márquez improving on rain. This is the times only. This is not combined. So this is only the times for this. Look, Márquez 34.3 on rain, full rain. Wow. Qué show, Márquez, de verdad. Wow. Lorenzo está a más de un segundo y se le ve con problemas. Las Ducati en mojado, bueno, al menos Lorenzo, veremos Dovizioso, pero las Ducati en mojado no van bien, al menos no lo parece. Ahora sale Dani, hombre, Dani, venga, va, Dani, mejorando, va.
With the final 10 minutes now, that short delay after the strike. Just see there, Marc Marquez, he's decided to back out of it now. Lorenzo's come through. These two had a bit of contact, didn't they? Almost contact in a really exciting joust at the start of the race last year. Lorenzo just faded.
La pista está súper mojada.
To keep some tyre in that life in that rear tyre. He started from the front row but finished fourth.
Shout out in this session to Xavier Simeon, the Belgian rider. We've not really spoken too much about the Belgian so far this year. It's perhaps not been a season that he'd really want to remember in so many ways, but we know he's always been a very, very solid wet weather rider, and he's currently, in this session, 13th.
Ducati, Steve, have got just a great history.
Márquez sigue mejorando.
GP16, Andrea Dovizioso won in rain conditions in Malaysia on that motorcycle. Ducati has always worked well in the wet. They've got it set up brilliantly electronically, and of course, he seems to offer really good mechanical grip in rain conditions as well. So, the Ducati has always been a weapon in rain conditions. Interesting couple of hairstyles going on in the pit lane right now with Scott Redding there with his blonde highlights and Alvaro Bautista with his blue rings.
Just to give you an idea of that sort of pace as well, I mean, that is only 9 seconds off his fastest dry time. That is not hanging around.
The one thing that people have always said about the Red Bull rig, certainly.
Lorenzo no pinta bien en mojado, Le queda una última salida, veremos qué prueba. Y la pista poco a poco, ahora no está tan mojada. O sea, se está secando, aún no se está haciendo un carril claro. Wow, Márquez ya está bajando gordo, Sí, pero la pista poco a poco se va haciendo más rápida, pero sigue estando mojada. O sea, van con neumáticos de mojado, pero ya no hay tanta agua. Oh, Márquez es un espectáculo, ¿eh? Márquez es un show. A ver, Dani. Kevin dice que si a Dani le puede venir bien la lluvia. Bueno, ha salido, ha dado 3 vueltas, sigue el último. De momento no. Pero no sé por qué ha esperado tanto a salir. A ver, bueno, este parcial ya es bueno, ¿eh? Este primer parcial ya es bueno. A ver, esta vuelta nos lo dirá. Y le quedarán 3 o 4 más. Vamos a ver. Parece que la base le funciona. En el T1 ha conseguido hacer ya un buen tiempo. No es de pole, pero ya es un tiempo interesante. No mejora en el segundo. No mejora en el segundo. Bueno, a ver, le quedan 5:55. A ver qué puede hacer. Lo de Márquez es un escándalo. Lo de Márquez es un escándalo. O sea, si llueve, Márquez va a ser favorito. Si es en seco, yo creo que los de MotoGP.com están diciendo que en seco se volverá a ver un duelo de Márquez con las dos Ducati. Yo aquí no lo creo. De momento, veremos. Lo que pasa es que Marc tampoco... Sí que tiene la ventaja de que si ahora mismo es en lluvia, tiene una ventaja, yo creo. Pero si es en seco, esas 4 décimas que le faltan, no ha tenido tiempo de buscar cómo encontrarlas.
Great ability on wet conditions, so this is quite. We were waiting for rain condition for long, and this season always never happened. In general, our bike is generally good in rain condition. We believe because we are on the higher side of the center of gravity position, so this increases the weight transfer and the mass of the rider. In this case, helps this phenomenon. So we believe this is the explanation. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thanks to Romano Albertiano. Well, yeah, Scott Redding probably wishes there were a few wet weather races at the start of the year as well, because you never know how things may well have panned out.
No, absolutely, yeah. So Romano Albertiano confirming that. Always been a very, very strong wet weather rider, Scott Redding. Danny Pedrosa has started to reel off some lap times now. He's down in 23rd place at 1:39.9. Hasn't really been able to find his wet weather form since the switch from Bridgestone to Michelin tyres over the last couple of years. Danny Pedrosa, of course, rain conditions used to be his weakest point by a long, long way. And then you've had that famous victory, I think 2013 or 2014 in the wet, his first victory in the rain conditions at Sepang. That monkey off his back, but he's struggling out there right now, almost 6 seconds off the pace of Marc Marquez. It's just all about for Pedrosa.
Es muy bestia decir esto. 6 seconds away from the pace is Danny right now. He only made 4 laps. I don't know why, because I don't think he's going out again with only 3 minutes left. But I don't understand why he didn't test that. So it looks like Marquez on the rain have a big advantage. Redding made a lot of laps, as well as Rins and Zarco and Chiarin also. Those 4 riders made a lot of laps, more than anyone else. And it looks like, well, not the most exciting ever, but believe me, they've been playing with their lives. Bueno, Daniel, me alegro de que te hayas pasado un rato. Muchas gracias por el like, un abrazo y nos vemos mañana, ¿vale? Venga, hasta luego. So at the moment, no one improving. Only Miller, Rossi, Rabat, and Abraham still on track, which I think is the clever decision because it is better to just do more laps, to know more, and to have more feedback. But anyway, so this is gonna end like this. And probably is the time to take a little rest. I'll leave you here with English commentators. Os dejo aquí con los comentaristas ingleses y vuelvo para Moto2.
A couple of minutes left in this session. We ride with Rossi. As it stands, he's out of the top 10. And if we do have rain tomorrow morning, he will have to advance through Q1. So it will be all eyes on the weather forecast for tomorrow. Incidentally, I don't think we've brought this up in the session so far. There will be a 3-place grid penalty going to one of Valentino's riders, Franco Morbidelli, Matt. Unfortunately, from FP1.
Yeah, apparently, race direction revealing that he was penalised for cruising on the racing line. Cruising on the racing line, possibly at the worst possible moment of this Red Bull Ring. He was cruising through turn 2, which is more of a flat-out 6-gear kink than is a corner. But Franco Morbidelli, yeah, a rap on the knuckles, and quite rightly so, because he disturbed another rider, guilty of riding in an irresponsible manner. So immaterial of where Morbidelli qualifies tomorrow. Well, he's going to be relegated 3 places back on the grid.
Luca Cadalora there. Of course, rider coach for Valentino, but not a bad rider back in his day either.
Top quality rider, Luca Cadalora, one of the best 250cc riders in history. Was pretty capable of 500cc two-stroke as well, was Luca Cadalora. Pretty good man to have fighting in your corner. Although a rider coach can only do so much. He can be out there spotting, listening and observing what Valentino and what his rivals are doing, but it's not help that the Valentino needs from a rider coach. He needs it coming from Yamaha. There's confirmation of the penalty that will come the way of Franco Morbidelli on Sunday. Irresponsible riding during FP1 at that second corner. 3 group position penalty on Sunday for the 28-lap race. Always felt that it was going to be a struggle. I mean, as Steve just mentioned, the top speed so crucial here at the Red Bull Ring, and Franco Morbidelli coming into this Austrian Grand Prix weekend, so it was probably for him on paper going to be the toughest and most difficult weekend.
Vale, pues vamos a cepillar esta sesión. Es un nuevo as en la manga que Márquez se saca. La verdad que en seco las Ducati tenía pinta que iban a arrasar y esto no va a ser así, básicamente porque no va a ser seco. Bueno, no se sabe, pero por el aspecto de las nubes, de las montañas, de ese tipo de niebla, de tormenta, tiene pinta que va a estar inestable todo el fin de semana. Mañana como lo que también será el domingo. Entonces, a lo que parecía que los de Ducati se las iban a prometer muy felices, les sale un problema, que es que si llueve, Márquez les mete un carro a todos. Al menos de momento, porque, digamos, ha habido varios pilotos listos, creo yo, como Redding, como Petrucci, como Smith, Rins, Miller, Crutchlow, que han salido a dar muchas vueltas y han salido muy pronto, incluso Sharin y tal. Y ha habido pilotos como Dani que no han salido, han dejado correr todo el tiempo y al final han salido a dar 3 vueltas para acabar a 6 segundos de Márquez y al último, claro. Bueno, la cosa es que si mañana llueve, o sea, si el sábado importa menos, pero si el domingo llueve, es favorito Márquez, y si el domingo hace sol y está seco, las Ducati son favoritas. Esto es el resumen de lo que hemos visto hoy en las 2 tandas de MotoGP, la FP1 y la FP2. Esto es lo que se ha visto. En seco la Ducati, en mojado Márquez. Y digo eso porque si hubiera mañana sesiones íntegras de seco, podríamos esperar que Márquez recuperara esa diferencia, pero claro, no las va a haber, seguramente. Veremos, veremos, habrá que estar tanda a tanda, porque será un poco una lotería. Pero a grosso modo diríamos eso, si es seco las Ducati, si es mojado Márquez. Ya no digo ni Honda, digo Márquez, porque Pedrosa, bueno, supongo que esto le queda cerca de casa y se puede ir a visitar su jardín y debe tener, no sé, familia invitada durante el fin de semana y entre tanda y tanda se va a su casa. No lo entiendo, de verdad. Su afición no se lo merece. Bueno, eso es lo que ha pasado, ¿vale? Ahora lo voy a contar en inglés. Okay, so this is the end of the session. Márquez took this advantage on rain. He was so clever, he got on track very early on when all the teams were hesitating if going out or not. We just, Ario, you're very welcome. Very nice to see you here. Yeah, it was a very strange Friday. The morning went well because it was sunny. And then the afternoon started big heavy rain. And the pilots were not going out. Only, you know, the youngsters like Zarco, Rins, Petrucci, even Crutchlow, Chiarin, they were making a lot of laps on the rain. But at the end, Márquez have something else on the rain. The Ducatis are second and a half away. So the thing for the race, because tomorrow it's going to be raining again. We don't know when, because it's like super heavy rain in right away, just like immediate, and then it stops. And because it's hot, it gets dry quite fast, but you know, not enough to make it dry, and all that kind of mixed conditions that we missed this season so far. Since Argentina, we had no rain, so it's the first time we have rain, and this is going to change a lot. You know, the plans for the race, because I think it was clear path for the Ducatis on dry. And now it's different, because we can see that Márquez on the rain have a big advantage. And we'll see. It's going to be a bingo game. And not very good for Viñales. Rossi improved on wet, even though it's like 2.5 seconds, 2.3 seconds away from Márquez, which is a lot. And Viñales is even worse on the rain. He did only 8 laps. Rossi did 14. And he's, for example, Rossi is out of the Q2 right now. And Viñales is 10th in the combined, because you see, if I put the combined, this is the laps they did this morning, basically. And current is the wet session with the Márquez a lot in front. I mean, a margin of more than half a second. Redding, you know, have nothing to lose, and he was doing a lot of laps, 13 laps, a lot of laps. Then Petrucci did only 8 laps, but he was almost a second away, but, you know, third. Both Ducati factory with more no risk attitude for the championship and for the victories and so on. Mostly Dovizioso, he's 1.5 seconds away. And Rossi is 10th, but 2.3 seconds away. And Chiarini is 4 seconds away. I think most of the riders hesitated to get on track, and they may pay for that, because who knows if tomorrow morning it's gonna be again raining, and the FP4 QPs are raining, and you didn't test the bike at all. It's a lot of difference among 4 laps and 14 laps. It's a lot of difference. That's 3 times the same, or more than 3 times. So, well, a bit disappointed for Danny and also for Viñales. I don't know why they were waiting so much, because I suppose that you are into your dry setting and you are thinking, oh yeah, but I'm very close to get this and I don't want to go again to the machine 2 and change everything up again and so on. Yeah, but you know, it looks like the weather is going to be unstable the whole weekend. Maybe it's going to dry out, and maybe tomorrow is totally sunny, which is a possibility. But it looks like could be unstable for the whole weekend. So we'll see. But this is what it looks. Okay, this is Moto 2. The situation of the track right now is, let me see the video. Now the situation on track, what's happening here?
Positions. The NTS chassis getting used to what it will be like in the rain this afternoon. Joe Roberts, his teammate, was just behind him, 27th place and 26th. Just before that, though, Isaac Viñales returns to action after a one-round hiatus and is switching teams onto that Ford Racing Suter. Ben Snyder is in 28th from Jules Danilo, Xavi Cardalus, Nicky Tulli, Alejandro Medina, and Federico Fellini returns from injury at the Red Bull Ring, and he is back in 33rd. So no major changes there. Then in Form 4, the Italian. So let's get on with it then. Big question, Neil. If you were a Moto 2 team, I know lots of all the garage doors are up. If you're a Moto 2 team like Sky VR46 or Italtrans, would you be benching?
Look, there's big problems for Mir because he's 0.4 from the pole and he's 15th, which there are 22 riders in 1 second. 22 riders in 1 second. This is amazing. Okay, it looks like the stormy weather kind of views are cleaning up a bit. It would depend on the wind also, but it doesn't look as ugly as it looked half an hour ago. It looks now the floor of the paddock is totally dry. So it's warm because it's sun and of well, right now should be. We'll see.
Plenty of rubber down there, turn 1 and turn 3. The track surface is a little bit different here to cope with the snow in the winter as well, isn't it? So the track surface doesn't break up. That's right, is it?
Yeah. Track surface are laid down. They have pores in the surface. Here they can do that. So obviously, snow here in the winter, 2 or 3 months, maybe even more of snow. And had any pores, then basically water would get into it and expand and break the tarmac apart. So it has to be a fairly non-porous surface. It's one of the theories why the surface is a little bit more tricky here in the wet than other places. But obviously, I think Stephen Mack mentioned during MotoGP there, sandblasting off the surface before
Make it
turns
a bit
1
more
and
gritty,
3.
isn't it? That's the purpose of sandblasting. Scrub away sort of dirt on the track and everything. Make sure we don't have any repeats. I think it was 10, 12 or so riders down in one session this time last year. Just the front end letting go without much warning from as soon as they really touched the brakes. Very, very unfortunate it was.
Yeah, and that last session was encouraging because at the post-race test at Brno, several of the MotoGP names were questioning whether they would even go out on track if it rained. So I think they saw Alex Rins and Johan Zarco's early laps, but they were able to cut a decent enough pace, and it looked fairly safe. But we shall get to hear a little bit more of their feedback soon. As we see Joan Mir on our screens here, 2 times he has won this track in his previous 2 visits. Mir wasn't a million miles away this morning in the dry conditions. He was down in 15th, but as Matt mentioned earlier, ridiculously close times in this Moto2 class around this very short Red Bull Ring track. He was just 0.4 seconds off the front, down all the way in 14th.
Brad Binder got his nose covered up there to make sure his visor doesn't really steam up as he goes out for practice. Very, very shortly. The clock not ticking down just yet, just a little bit longer. We're leaving it before we get out on track. And also clear visors around. I bet plenty of photographers will be getting some absolutely stunning shots of the clear visors throughout this session. We're doing a feature on visors with MotoGP.com for quite a while ago. Speaking to guys like Bradley Smith and Cal Crutchlow, Bradley Smith says some of the riders don't like to have some of the clear visors, particularly in like guitar or here. Some of them don't really like the photos that come out of them, or perhaps sometimes what it reveals of what the riders are looking at when they're out on track. Prefer to keep their eyes hidden, and it seems to be more increasingly in the last couple of years. Nobody really wants to give anything away at all, and even if you're keeping your visor dark, just to make sure nobody's seeing what you're actually looking at, it's quite extreme, isn't it?
It's a little bit, yes. It's quite surprising to hear. Wouldn't think too much would be given away by riders' eyes, but well, as you say, all these little differences do make a change at this level of motorcycle racing.
Yeah, maybe some of the riders feel a little bit self-conscious as well, perhaps, I don't know. I mean, I do like some of the shots that come out where you can see riders blinking. You get that sort of question, don't you? It looks like they're going around with their eyes closed. Some of these riders probably could do laps like that, couldn't they? Obviously not, but Jorge Navarro heads towards the end of pit lane as the clock is about to start to tick down on the session. There it goes. And we're underway. Plenty of riders all heading straight out on circuit. Alex Marquez there, one of them, the number 73. Marcel Schrotter not yet ready to go out. He wants to see what everybody else is doing firstly.
Another strong session for this man this morning. 3rd quickest overall in FP1. Schrotter continuing that good form that we have seen through most of this season so far. 2018 does look like he will be staying with that Dynavolt intact squad. 2019, as we see Sam Lowes, the Englishman, doing a little stretching before he goes out on track.
Making sure he is fully limbered up before heading out on track. Some extra thick knee sliders for him as well in this session, as you would think. Less lean angle in the wet, of course, but if you still want to get your knee down, there's double thickness knee slides on you.
Yeah, Sam does tend to go well in these kind of conditions. I think I remember him getting pole position at his home Grand Prix, Silverstone, 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3 years ago, in really, really bad conditions like this. So Sam, obviously, going up, plenty of experience riding in the rain, and maybe a day like today will be good practice for 2 weeks' time now when we do eventually go back home to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
Will that heat wave last? Will it be any different? Who knows? I imagine if you get a scorcher at Silverstone, how awesome would that be?
We had one last year.
Absolutely. Silverstone in the baking sun. The British fans, it would be better for British motorsport fans. Also with a British rider maybe going on top of the podium. How epic. Here is one rider who was nearly on top of the podium last time out, Luca Marini. Also his 21st birthday today. The half-brother of Valentino Rossi. Who else? You got unmistakable eyes. Very, very similar eyes, haven't they? Notices more and more lately.
Yes, for sure, yeah. It was Marini's 46th Grand Prix at Brno last time out. And Valentino Rossi was talking up the romance. Had he won that epic duel with Miguel Oliveira in Brno, well, it would have been quite fitting, because not only was it his 46th Grand Prix, was, of course, the place where Valentino Rossi scored his first Grand Prix victory all the way back in 1996. But Marini just missed out. I think we could say his best, comfortably his best Grand Prix showing to date.
Absolutely. Never say die, and he did not.
Yeah, combative right until the very end.
Yeah, that was a well and truly special race we had last time out. What a joy that was. Absolutely on the edge of our seats for the entire time. But Miguel Oliveira just had that little bit on him. We were discussing in FP1 how plenty of these, the difference between sort of the Kalex and the KTM chassis, where the benefits were, the drawbacks in each one. It seemed to be quite clear that in particular in Brno, the KTMs were really strong. We're getting that power hooked down to the rear tyre, more rear end stability, whereas the lots of the Kalexes making their more audacious moves under braking. They had far more front end confidence, it seemed. And that would be where Luca Marini unfortunately missed out on the race win, back up towards Horsepower Hill and towards the final chicane, turns 13 and 14, where Miguel Oliveira just had that little bit extra on it, despite Marini's best efforts.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Joan Mir. Let's see what he can do. This is the combined. Let's put the current. This is the rhythm under water, under the rain. Here, as you see, it looks pretty different from what we were watching on the combined. This is gonna be normal always when we see, you know, sessions on dry, on total dry, and other sessions in certain degrees of wet. So here you can see that Mir is not that bad on the wet. It's looking, well, it's 2.4 seconds, but he's 6th already, and he is gonna improve. He had some problems putting, tuning up the, switching and tweaking the bike for the race, but it looks like on wet he's getting the feeling very fast. Let's see. Improving again. Fenati is also improving. Paui, we know he's the the magician of rain, but he doesn't work so well with the dry. And this year is not a good year for the rain specialists, like Miller is also in MotoGP. Vale, pues bueno, vemos que está lloviendo. Han salido a pista con una previsión de lluvia para mañana también. Menos claro está que el domingo vaya a llover. O sea, mañana se ve más claro que el domingo. El domingo las previsiones no consiguen hacer... o sea, lo de mañana ninguno de las plataformas donde puedo consultar me dan claro que no llueve. O sea, mañana lo que no sabemos es la franja exacta y dependerá de los vientos y tal. Pero está más claro que el domingo pudiera ser en seco. Pero sin haber podido probar el sábado. Lo cual favorece a las Ducati. Porque si se queda todo como está, sin que Márquez pueda practicar para el seco del domingo, a ver, Márquez es Márquez y de una manera u otra lo va a encontrar, pero favorece a las Ducati. Me alegro por Jorge, pero bueno, eso es lo que va a pasar. Vale, vamos a ver, pues, ¿qué está pasando aquí? Gardner. Recordamos que están rodando en lluvia, mucha lluvia, y estos tiempos no van a mejorar. Lo que, como veis aquí en el combinado, han estado rodando en 34 por la mañana en seco y ahora mismo están rodando en 45.3. O sea, 15 segundos de diferencia. Pero claro, si la carrera acaba siendo mojado, si acaban saliendo en mojado, pues así será. Okay, so let's see what are the rhythms on the wet, sorry. Okay, I'll leave you with the MotoGP.com commentators. Thank you.
You do not want. At least this is well and truly absolutely soaked. And actually, Neil, so far, not touch wood, not touch my head, not had any crashes or any issues so far. I keep thinking there was a flash of lightning going, but of course, because it's darker, it's photographers in pit lane getting shots of the riders leave. I could have gone, oh, lightning, Neil, lightning. But no. Joe, you're speaking of the rain meisters. There's Joe Roberts, 1.2 seconds quicker. Although Remy Gardner's just taken the top spot yet again. He goes up to turn 1 as well. We were just saying, Remy Gardner loves to get absolutely loose as you like in these wet conditions. Some of the things he was doing, especially, was it into the first turn and also coming out the final corner, Remy just letting that Mistral chassis slide.
In Argentina.
In Argentina. What did I say?
You didn't say anywhere.
Okay, excellent. Just a bit of clarification there. Let it slide in Argentina absolutely beautifully, did Remy Gardner. And that was a super impressive performance from him. As Duran Mir's getting a little bit too close to Danny Kent there. I think he was getting a bit worried that he was going to run into him. But just about made it. I think that's probably, given that tyre temperature and given the conditions, that was about as late as you could possibly brake without not making the line there. The apex for Duran Mir.
Yeah, and if this rain gets any harder, Matt, I'm slightly worried we might see a red flag, because this was, if we look out our window now, this is as hard as it was raining before the MotoGP session, which was delayed by about 5 to 10 minutes.
I don't think it's quite as intense, but there's definitely the volume of rain coming down is pretty much the same. But beforehand, it was so strong and fierce. It was creating such puddles splashing up and down. But, well, you do say we are getting towards that point, aren't we?
Yeah, 5 more minutes like this. And, yeah, you would worry a little bit about visibility out there. But guys like Joe Roberts, Remy Gardner are continuing to bring the fastest lap time off the session down. As Joe Roberts goes to the fastest, goes to the top of the time sheets.
5 more minutes like this, and you're getting the playing cards out, Neil, and Monopoly. But seems okay at the moment. Yes, in the start, I think the cameras are fooling you a little bit. It definitely looks more intense outside of commentary position, not on the cameras. Well, that gives you a bit more of an impression. Oh my goodness! Look at the visibility coming out to turn 1 now. That's
looking so good.
No, not at all. Very wet indeed. Duran Mir, and Danny Kent run it way too wide. Missed their braking markers there, don't they?
I think we're going to see a red flag soon, Matt, to be honest, because that doesn't look very safe at all. Those conditions up in turn 1.
Or the water bouncing off the track, creating that little film of spray, that little layer of spray just down the bottom there. Not good one little bit, is it?
Certainly not.
Neil, we'll have to be should have done some more rain research, looking at statistics around rain. You can have a fun Friday night up tonight, couldn't you? We can go see Tom Orsolino, come and sit down with a coffee and work out best MotoGP races in the rain, this and that and the other. That was another flash of lightning there, but no, it was a photographer again. Oh dear. Yeah, it's very wet indeed. Don't obviously any major quick lap times will be at all. There's Powie, even he's giving up the ghost in this weather.
Yeah, if he's doing it, then you have to say the conditions must be pretty bad. It seems to be up at this top point of the circuit here. We're looking at Javi Vierge and Karel Idam Powie going into turn 4. That's up at the top of the circuit. Visibility doesn't look to be too bad there, but it's down on the start and finish straight.
Turn 1.
At turn 1, which does look to be problematic at present, but none of these guys seem to be sticking their necks on the line at present. Even that early flurry of laps from Joe Roberts, Remy Gardner and Karel Idam Powie. Yeah, not a surprise to see a lot of these guys now coming into pit lane.
Sam Lowe shaking his head then, going, nope, not for me. Even a hardy Brit like himself from Lincolnshire must be more than used to weather like this. Goodness gracious. And even he goes, now actually he's a resident on the Isle of Man now as well, isn't he, Sam? So he's definitely more used to, what, 300 days of rain on the Isle of Man per year?
Yes, for an Isle of Man resident to be shaking his head at the rain, then you know it really is something special.
Shot there, beautiful. Wonderful slow motion shot. Very artistic. God. Oh, absolutely lovely. Sam Lowe sticking his leg out, indicating, nope, not for me, boys. I'm going in.
It's raining more and more. Now it's bucketing down. I mean, very heavy rain. I don't know if in these conditions the race could be celebrated. No, not sure. Some lows, just showing how they. I mean, it's impossible to ride in these conditions. All riders on box. I'm so sorry for this disappointing Friday session, because we normally have a lot of action and little things are happening. But of course, the fanatics of MotoGP are here discussing what's gonna happen. At the moment, nobody seems to be improving. I mean, because it's raining heavier and heavier, and all pilots, all of them, are now in the boxes.
He'll be missing Amy in pit lane this afternoon, and we'll be glad that he's not getting any more ridiculously direct accidents from going around pit lane, asking anybody and everybody fearlessly, what are you doing next year? What's happening? What's going wrong? I very much appreciate the approach he gets us in these sessions. Tetsuya Nagashima still out there though. Got those extra aero add-ons on that Calyx machine, which you've seen so far this year quite a lot. Plenty of riders opting to have those. Most notably, in Renault.
So, Mark 4, Tetsuya Nagashima's bravery is without question. Because that is always a bit of a rather specialist, because like the Brits, they had plenty of experience growing up. It's like Malaysian too, like racing in the rain is a central part to national racing. And second fastest moment, he was some way off the quickest pace there, but sticking up.
Okay, I'm gonna ask it again. For the people who's still in the chat, do you prefer me to continue in English or Spanish? Okay, we're gonna go to the conclusion section. Conclusion section, and we're gonna talk about what we saw this Friday, first day of practice in Austria, Red Bull Ring GP. So there's 8 people still watching. A very watered down version of what is usual in those chats, where everyone is, oh, who's improving, whatever. But you know, it has been raining in all the seasons, in all the outings, and what we have now is that no one improving. What we put on screen is the current. This is the rhythm on the wet. You see that Roberts, Garner, Paui have a big margin over Lowe's, Odendal, Fenati, Mir. A big margin. Look at that. These 3 people can go away easily if finally it's raining, which it looks like could rain. What we saw in MotoGP is something very similar. Many riders, among them Danny, made a big mistake of not taking profit of many laps in those conditions to test the bike, to go for the wet setting. And they've been waiting. Viñales also waited too much, because, you know, it's not that kind of constant rain. Now it's been raining for the last hour or something, but in the morning it was like 10-15 minutes of super megalodon kind of rain, you know, and then stopped, and now it's been raining for the last 40-50 minutes, and it seems that it's stable on the rain. So for what we have here is a race that, I mean, we know nothing. There's still 27 minutes. We don't know what's going to happen here. So I don't know if it's interesting to go speak or review other things, because I don't think here is going to happen so much. But because I titled the stream Austria GP Friday FP2, live, because this is live, I'm gonna leave it until the end, okay? Anyone can tell me what they want, and I'm gonna leave the English commentators of the MotoGP.com for a while. I'm back in a while.
Sam Lowe's. Yeah, Sam Lowe's currently sitting a pretty solid fourth.
God, look at the eyes.
Good. Yeah, it's a great shot.
Focus.
It's not often we have the opportunity to see into the riders' helmets.
Oh,
just the concentration.
What a shot that is. So zoomed in on his eyes, looking at the focus, and that absolutely wonderful. Look through the corner, look through the turn, isn't it? That's what you always get told in your first driving lesson.
Sam assures us that he has two good options for 2019, and he feels that pretty much came to a decision which one of those he was going to choose back in Brno. And I think confirmation has perhaps come this weekend in terms of an agreement. So we're likely to hear some news regarding Sam's future. I imagine the British Grand Prix would be as good a time as any to announce that. So expect something regarding Sam's future in the next 2 weeks or so. But good that the Moto2 title challenger challenged twice for Moto2 World Championships.
Be getting another crack at the whip next year. Well,
will, yeah, not short of offers, and that is good to hear.
In pit lane news, Neil, Xavi Cardelus has gone out on track, and I can see from my commentary position, Marcel Schrotter looks as though he's about to go out as well. His bike has been wheeled out into pit lane. Visor's going down. He's stepping on his motorcycle, and he is going to go out as well. The rain has decreased in its intensity. There is Marcel Schrotter about to go out.
Yep, as we saw Pip Byrer, KTM's motorsport director, down there in Akiayo's Red Bull KTM garage. Byrer was speaking to the press earlier, confirming that next year the factory will have 2 MotoGP test riders, not just one. Mika Kallio has obviously served that purpose the last 2, well, this year and last, obviously. And, well, quite interesting listening to Pip Byrer. He was saying that Kallio and his injury since Saxonary has really hamstrung that team, because it means that full-time riders, Bradley Smith and Paul Espargaro wasn't here this weekend, but in Brno, Bradley Smith and Paul Espargaro were having to do some of the testing work during a race weekend that Mika Kallio was previously doing, and that just is not ideal at all if you want your riders to be focusing solely on Sunday performance. So to avoid any possibilities of further disruption to their testing program in 2019, they are going to call upon the services of 2 full-time test riders. Mika Kallio, well, is probably going to be one of those. And interestingly, he was saying Danny Pedrosa and Bradley Smith are in the running for the second seat. So, yeah, talking to Danny Pedrosa to lure him away from Honda, the testing role.
Well, it all depends on what Danny Pedrosa could do. I mean, it sort of comes into the same debate about what Pedrosa could have done with, should he have taken the Petronas Yamaha seat. Thing is now, Danny, you've been at Honda for however many years, pretty much all your career. Well, you retire with Honda, you stay a Honda ambassador, you maybe take a small testing role with them. You have a job for life. You go to somewhere else, maybe you don't. This is the issue, isn't it? Unless you do...
It's Red Bull is the common denominator in both of those roles. He's been associated with Red Bull for quite some time.
Ever since.
All of his career,
even when he was in 250s as well, was it?
Possibly. Yeah. Not sure. Certainly throughout MotoGP. But
I'm sure Red Bull will keep him looked after, but yes, it depends on with the Yamaha it would have been a bit more difficult, given that you'd have to give up the Red Bull sponsorship perhaps and go with some Monster sponsorship. Depends on what the agreements will be between the Petronas squad, and we know certainly that the factory Yamaha squad will be mainly sponsored by Monster next year.
Indeed. More ambition from KTM.
I know.
It's most factories have followed suit. They led the way. They and Ducati basically led the way with a full-time test team and MotoGP level test rider, a rider that's capable of top 6s, top 10s whenever they came to do MotoGP wildcards. And now you look at Suzuki, Honda. They're doing that this year with Silva Gintoli and Stefan Bradl. And next year, it looks like both Aprilia and Yamaha are going to set up full-time test teams based in Europe.
Alex, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Me alegro de verte por aquí. ¿Qué tal, Alex? ¿Cómo vamos? Buah, una lluvia va a ser complicado. Va a ser complicado. No sé qué decir porque en lluvia cambia mucho. Además, es una lluvia que encharca mucho. tienen problemas claros de drenaje, yo creo. Bueno, o de que caen una de capazos de agua de golpe y pinta que va a llover.
So this is the risk you run when you have these guys racing. Of course, we saw it. Kelly Pirro as well came off in horrendous fashion at Mugello as well, which would have put him out of the testing role for a little while.
Ahora mismo la pista no está tan mojada. La pista ahora no está tan mojada. Sigue mojada, pero no es tanto spray. Con los 22 minutos que quedan, no creo que vaya a hacerse carril. Se va a ir haciendo la pista más rápida, eso sí. Pero carril no lo creo. Alex, ¿qué tal? Sí. 3 semanas sin estar por aquí, no tenía cobertura. Que has estado de vacaciones, ¿no? Jolín, qué bien viven algunos. Me alegro mucho, tío. ¿Dónde has estado? Bueno, pues aquí la lluvia nos ha roto un poco la dinámica, la verdad. Está siendo un fin de semana raro en cuanto a una lluvia poco predecible, si es que la lluvia es predecible del todo. Y también por la virulencia un poco de los golpes de lluvia, ¿no? Entonces no sabemos lo que va a pasar. Es un poco extraña la situación. Muchos pilotos que no se han atrevido a salir. Muchos pilotos... Alex dice, estaba en Farena, un pueblo de Tarragona de 40 habitantes en las montañas. Anda, mira, qué guay, ¿no? Pasando frío seguro, ¿eh? Hace una calor que te mueres. Muy bien, pues me alegro mucho. Bueno, lo bueno de esto es que puedes seguir más o menos por el móvil, si quieres. Ya sé que ahora hay una cosa que sirve también para la música, que es, o sea, solo el audio, digamos. Si quieres un poco, o bueno, en este caso te podrías hacer fotos, digamos, hacer que no te esté cambiando todo el rato la pantalla para gastar menos datos si estás por ahí, pero bueno, también es YouTube, o sea, puedes mirar un minuto, ver cómo está hasta ese momento, desconectarte y luego volver al cabo de 15 o bueno, algo así, ¿sabes? Sabes que tienes ahí el lifetime. Farena, pues mira tú que no me suena Farena, yo conozco bien Cataluña. No sé, no me suena. Es raro. Vale, pues aquí lo que está pasando es que llueve mucho aún. Todo el mundo se está esperando, yo entiendo, a salir a hacer su vuelta. Más al final, se levanta mucho spray aún, ¿eh? O sea, no se está ni por asomo haciendo carril. Hay algunos lugares donde ya no hay spray y hay algunos lugares donde aún hay mucho spray. Pero yo supongo que la estrategia de esperar a que la pista esté lo más rápida posible para salir y hacer una vuelta, a mi modo de ver, es erróneo. Porque yo prefiero salir, dar varias vueltas y coger un feedback y un feeling sólido sobre la pista, sobre la moto, sobre todo, que no esperarme al momento en que la pista esté lo más rápido, dar una vuelta y volver a entrar. No lo sé. Creo que coger un poco el de esto va a ser importante. A ver, Alex Castillo dice, se está bien y en mi ciudad casi se muere la perra de mi vecina de la calor, pobreta. Sí, hace muchísimo calor, muchísimo calor. Bueno, si estás más subido en la montaña, ahora que cae un poco el sol, hace hasta fresquito, ¿no? Juan Ángel Fernández dice, Jorge Lorenzo ha vuelto. Pues sí, no se la ha jugado mojado, pero yo creo que sí que ha vuelto. Bueno, yo creo que nunca se ha ido, lo que pasa es que la Ducati tiene tela, ¿eh? Y ahora la Ducati de ahora, aún. Pero la Ducati histórica que dejó Stoner, eso era una mala bestia. O sea, Yo creo que esta Ducati ya es una Ducati que más gente podría hacerla funcionar y se está viendo con Petrucci, se está viendo con Bautista, se está viendo con Miller incluso. Y vamos a ver. Ahora mismo tenemos pinchado en pantalla lo que está pasando en Moto 2, básicamente para ver, por ejemplo, ahora Mir viene detrás de Marini mejorando en el T1. A ver, Marini ha mejorado, yo creo que lo ve. No mejora Mir. No mejora Mir. Bueno, va a ser una lotería este fin de semana, ¿eh? La verdad es que va a ser una auténtica lotería. No sabemos lo que puede pasar porque dependerá mucho del clima. O sea, estaremos en cada tanda apreciando cómo está la pista. Y si va a llover, si se va a secar, si no se va a secar. Va a ser un fin de semana de estos. Aunque probablemente la carrera acabe siendo en seco el domingo. Entonces preparémonos para un fin de semana de que todo puede cambiar de un momento a otro. Al final todo puede acabar cambiando dependiendo del tiempo. Marini se ha puesto segundo, Mir ha fallado en el 2, pero ha hecho bien el 1, el 3 y el 4. Vamos a ver si Mir mejora. Sabéis que Mir es mi pasión. Este chaval lo veo como es un chaval mallorquín con un talento con 19 años espectacular. Mir mejora en el primero. Vamos a ver si soluciona el problema que tiene en el segundo. Esperemos que haya sido un error puntual y que no haya sido un problema de ritmo, digamos, sino que se haya colado. Ahora lo veremos al pasar por este T2, veremos si realmente se ha... Muy bien, mejora en el segundo. No creo que sea de pole, pero mejora significativamente. Mires favorito en Austria, dice Alex Castillo. Vamos a verlo. Para mí es favorito para el título, mira que te digo. Sí, Brno fue la hostia, de verdad. Juan Ángel, ¿qué tal? Fue buenísima. Y yo de verdad que no la pude ver en directo, la tuve que ver en diferido por temas de trabajo. ¡Buah! ¡Qué carrerón, eh! Sobre todo MotoGP. Bueno, todas estuvieron bien, pero sobre todo MotoGP fue un carrerón. Juan Ángel dice que Xavi Vierge el año que viene al MVDS. Pues sí, eso parece, ¿no? Hombre, Xavi Vierge lo está haciendo súper bien. Lo está haciendo súper bien, o sea, este tío merece moto. Vamos a ver qué pasa aquí. Mir parece que no se ha quedado ahí, está a 6 décimas. A ver si sigue mejorando, esto me gusta. Mir es un campeón, es un súper campeón. Mir es nivel Márquez, nivel Viñales, es nivel top. Ya se verá. Este tío cogerá la Suzuki, que también coge una Suzuki mejor de la que cogió Maverick. Maverick. A ver, la Suzuki empezaba a funcionar. Juan Ángel dice Jorge Martín va a la KTM de Moto 2. Bueno, tiene muy buenas opciones. Veremos qué pasa aquí con lo de la fractura de brazo, porque es muy cercano a la muñeca y veremos, él después de que haya hecho la tromba de agua, ya no ha salido, cuando los otros pilotos se han empezado a hacer carril, han empezado a arriesgar en una situación bastante arriesgada de carril de seco, pero con aún parches de agua y parches de humedad, o sea, peligroso, ¿no? Y él ha decidido no salir. Veremos cómo responde. Las imágenes que se han visto de él esta mañana se le ve súper bien, o sea, no se le ve en plan demacrado, que no ha dormido y tal. O sea, ha descansado, está bien. Yo creo que eso es lo importante en la recuperación, descansar, y eso significa dormir bien por las noches y tal. Y el año que viene en Moto 2, hombre, es un tío, es que Jorge Martín, lo que está en Moto 3, Moto 3. Y el chaval es guapito, tal, no sé qué, joven. Claro, es que este tío se lo tienen que rifar. Se lo tienen que rifar. Es que Jorge Martín me lo llevo yo para Moto 2 ya mismo, claro que sí. Muy bien. Pues vamos a ver aquí, Mir, ¿qué ha hecho? Sí. Robert ha bajado el tiempo. Ahora Mir está a 0,7, no a 0,6. Y bueno, lo que me gusta de Mir es que está haciendo muchas vueltas en mojado. Eso es bueno en cuanto a que, bueno, quizá muchas veces cuando tú tienes poco tiempo para hacer una prueba ahora como en mojado, que ahora, claro, no está lloviendo, aún levantan un spray, pero el spray es cada vez más ligero. Entonces sí que hay momentos, a ver, se ha ido recto. Iker Lecuona se ha ido recto, que como veis ahí en el Lecuona que está parado, no se ha hecho nada. Se ha ido recto, pero y ha tenido que salir por el margen de la grava, y tardará bastante, parece que pero no se ha caído, va a continuar. Vale, entonces, muy bien. Oye, Juan Ángel, tú estás muy informado, veo, ¿eh? Tienes información, ¿eh? Te lees el marca y el as de este tema, ¿eh? Muy bien. Pues sí, la verdad es que es una de las grandes promesas del motociclismo español. ¿Y qué más? So we were talking with Juan Ángel in Spanish about the probable that Jorge Martín is going to go to KTM, to Moto2, and Xavi Vierge is going to get a MVDS, a Mark VDS motorcycle. And at the moment, we are very, very into Joan Mir, because we think that guy is something else. And we'll see. It's back on box. Sometimes when you have that kind of situation where it's raining and you see that you're not going to improve in the time, but you need to take rhythm on this situation. And you have to test the bike, you have to test yourself, you have to test the tires. I mean, as much information you can gather, the better. So sometimes, for example, now Mir, he wasn't improving, but he was doing a lot of laps. And sometimes you feel something and you want to get in to change it. But now you're going to lose, I don't know, it depends on what you ask for. Maybe it's something simple and you can go right away, or you lose, I don't know, 8 minutes and you only have 9 and you're going to need 1. You see what I mean? Let's wish that this change Mir came in to do. It's going to pay profits. I mean, let's see if he have time. He have more than 8 minutes to go out again. It depends on what he's requesting to the mechanics. Vale, pues esperemos que Mir consiga encontrar lo que busca en esta parada. Le quedarán 8 minutos y poquito. La pista, aún siguiendo estando muy mojada, se va haciendo más rápida minuto a minuto. You see that Banaya in the combined is first, not with a big margin, but first. But it's more than 10 seconds away. I mean, they're not going to improve, but would we see that Banaya, it's 5th on the wet, which is not too bad. Let's see what's happening to Marquez. Where is Marquez? It's here. 1.4 seconds away from the fastest. Looks pretty ugly for Marquez. I think the new of
good in Moto 2 on Sunday afternoon.
Quite a remarkable stat that I read before this race weekend. You wouldn't think so, because Miguel Oliveira is obviously a very capable guy who has fought for world championships in the past, won plenty of Grand Prix, but this is the first time that he has ever led a world championship. After obviously his win in Brno took him ahead of Pecco Bagnaia in this year's series for the first time. Even in Moto 3, 2015, when he had that nail-biting championship showdown with Danny Kent. At no point did he win, no point did he lead the championship that year. So this is kind of new territory for the Portuguese rider, and it will be quite interesting to see how he deals with it. If you were to judge his reaction in the pre-event press conference yesterday, he was pretty relaxed, wasn't he?
When is he not, Neil? When is Miguel Oliveira not relaxed and completely chilled out? I mean, I can't remember where I read it. A lot of people, it was a dangerous phrase to say, isn't it, really? Miguel Oliveira seemed at no point panicked about the championship throughout the early stages, despite not getting the wins. Pecco's starting to get 3 wins fairly early on. Now 4, he has 4 wins to his name. Still, Miguel Oliveira, before last weekend, only had 1. But he wasn't worried any sort of bit. We, of course, I mean, that makes complete sense given the form that he had towards the end of last year. 3 wins on the trot to finish off the year for him. We have actually said on previous occasions, if Bagnaia gets towards those flyaways, he needs at least have a 20-point buffer to pretty much be making sure he can win that championship or be inside. Oh, Sam Lowe's getting loose as he does just there. A little bit of a twitch.
Now we'll have got the heart racing. Sam Lowe's having a mad rear end moment. I know he does like to get it sideways, but wow, even by his own standards, that was something special. Sam.
He's very, very wet out there. That looks a fair bit of standing water, really. On the circuit, very shiny surface. But still, they stay out. And it's very good to see the lack of crashes, touch wood, that we've had in this session. Shows the grip has significantly improved since last year.
And if you look at the result sheet, you might not think 9th place is much. Sam Lowe's finished there last weekend at Brno, but really that was a very, very, very strong ride indeed. Sam had struggled all weekend, qualified way down in 22nd. Struggled with front end feel.
Mirno sale.
Sam to get a really consistent race, passed a whole load of people.
That went for quite a while, didn't it? Before he shut the throttle off, he was trying to slide it out, didn't he?
Sam Lowe's en la lluvia haciendo piruetas. Se la juegan mucho realmente.
Speaking of which, Nakashima.
Shima's found some speed as well. But yes, Sam Lowe's, I think that was a really strong ride. And if you look back at the lap analysis from last weekend,
so Sam Lowe's playing with his life.
Well,
I know someone who has, though, Neil Morrison.
You'll have realised that, you'll have noticed that Sam Lowe's was, at certain points in that race, the quickest rider on track. And I think he finished, 4 seconds back off the race winner. Yeah. There was a ludicrously tight top 10. We thought MotoGP was close in terms of top 10 finishers.
It was him and Finati in the early stages who were the fastest. Because Finati was he took off from 17th on the grid and managed to find himself just behind Sam Lowe's.
Quartararo is doing really well. Oh, now Mir is back on track. Okay, he has 3 minutes. This is
right through for
2 or 3, maybe 3.
Again, there slows down. And he has crashed out. His bike just keeps on sliding. He slid towards the ground. He is up and okay, thankfully. The good thing about some of the rain is these crashes are going to be more side if you want to have one. Mike kept on sliding.
He's okay. He's walking out of the situation.
Okay, thankfully. Fabio Quartararo, though, personal best. He goes up to 5th, though.
Ha caído Sam Lowe's. No se ha hecho nada. Ha salido andando.
just talking up the merits of your performance last weekend.
Yes, and I was just talking about how we hadn't had any crashes yet either. So clearly our heads are not made of wood because it didn't work when I touched those.
That was at turn 9. That was, well, it was between turn 9 and 10. I think where Sam had that terrifying crash in 2016 Moto2 race when his handlebar snapped.
Looked like he lost it fairly on the exit. It was quite far around, wasn't he? So let's have a look at this. This will be the replay.
Oh,
it's probably going to prove completely wrong.
high side.
Is it? No, he was quite far around.
Bastante fea.
At least he rolled all the way over. As the rear end came round on him.
Sí, sí, un high side feo, ¿eh? No lo ha parecido porque se ha levantado inmediatamente, pero se ha pegado una buena hostia en asfalto, ¿eh? Big crash by Sam Lowe's. It doesn't seem anything because he was walking right away, but very ugly high side falling on tarmac.
Fairly big one that was for Sam. Thank goodness he managed to walk away from it. Tetsuda Nagashima, rider with the most laps, I think, out of this session so far. Let's have a look at him on the times. Nagashima, 15 laps. Same as Quattrobaro, actually, just ahead of him on the times. Right, so Locatelli. And Isaac Vinales, nobody else apart from Joe Roberts. Joe Roberts takes the lead with 18 laps. And also Xavi Cardelus as well, number 18. The Avintia Ducati MotoGP test rider. So we got Stephen Odendahl goes to the top now as well, just under a quarter of a second with 1 minute, just over a minute to go. So clearly that NTS chassis does work pretty well in the wet. The wet to great level. There he goes. Gonna have a wheelie now.
Does he realise the session's still going?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not exactly cut off the pace, is it? Still pursuing Quattraro fairly closely. Style it up, Stephen. Why not?
That is a pretty good session, it has to be said, for MTS, first and second, as we see Remy Gardner has
not gone down. Looks like a mechanical.
This is quite come to a stop. The Australian currently sits 4th in this session. That was a big improvement. Remy was down in 24th this morning.
Looking at the camera, you see spotting himself on the camera.
Yep, that is an issue with his Tecton Mistral bike. Coming to a stop on the inside of turn 8 there.
We really don't want to run it too wide on the edge of those curbs, do you? Do you see the whoop section in Supercross if we went too wide
He's
on
not
those?
moving on the first sector. He fell.
And a blanket.
Oh, Dramir's gone down as well.
Going
Where is
down.
that? That looks like it's up at turn 1 at the end of the home straight.
No le ha pasado nada. No le
I
ha
reckon he's
pasado
lost.
nada.
Well, I'm going to make a prediction. He's lost it very early, I think.
Yeah, if he slid up that way,
Yeah, must have done.
probably lost it when breaking in a straight line. It's a little bit of a concern because we did hear someone crashing up at turn 3, and we saw Joe Roberts having that moment earlier. But
Look at the weather now, though. This will be not necessarily due to lack of grip. That'll be due to the intensity of the water on the running water on track now. Quite possibly a bit of aquaplaning. Nagashima goes down as well, and he's still on the bike.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Nagashima se acaba de hacer un Surfing USA con la moto. Se ha ido resbalando la moto con Nagashima sentado encima durante un montón de metros.
You see the lower leg is quite muddy, but he's up and okay, it seems, thank goodness.
Seems this is Sam Lowe's.
Oliveira está por ahí.
Absolutely.
Alex pregunta por Oliveira. A ver, Oliveira.
Oh, he lost it so late, didn't he? Oh, he's surfing the bike. Bail off, Tetsuda. Tetsuda, bail off. It's me.
Vaya caída de Tetsuya.
Sometimes you actually can't. Very difficult
Mira,
indeed.
hostia, el slow motion es
Managed
espectacular.
to come back on track. Oh, look at that slow-mo shot. Blimey. What? Is he looking directly at the camera? Well, possibly just by coincidence, I think, not intentional.
Esto va a ser viral. Este vídeo se va a ver, seguro.
In terms of instant replays, that is right up there.
Es increíble este slow motion.
Sparks fine. Look at the pop as well and explode.
Este slow motion va a ser increíble porque la moto va resbalando con él encima, como surfeando con la moto.
First time I've done anything towards physics in quite a while.
Yeah, and while we're watching
Estas
this,
imágenes van a ser increíbles, porque son muchos metros y en el slow motion parece que se
on the
pegue.
exit of turn 9. Thankfully, the Japanese rider is okay, but look how long he's just he's a passenger. He doesn't know whether to push himself off or just hang on for the ride.
Es que está pillando piano, aún sigue el slow motion, aún está subido encima de la moto y va cogiendo el carenado, va cogiendo los cortes del piano. Nunca había visto algo así en un slow motion, es increíble.
I can't believe how long he kept it on going for. If someone just tunes in right now, they're thinking, what on earth is going on? Wow.
The cameraman that got that shot, he bought a Steiner of beer this evening. So
bueno, pues se acabó. John Luke se ha caído en la contrarrecta de la subida.
Well, Tranmere heads back to the garage. He's okay, fortunately. So clearly he managed to remount and do it and tie another lap again. Onboard camera around the back needs a bit of a repair job. There's a replay of that.
La caída de Nid. Bueno, no ha pasado nada. Parecida, también ha surfeado un poco la moto. Hay demasiada lluvia. Hay demasiada lluvia.
Roberts managed to escape that fit a little earlier in the session, breaking upright. We can see quite a lot of those crashes happen last year. I think, well, Tranmere was the only rider to crash.
Mira, voy a hacer una cosa.
Just dragging the water as well with him.
Yep, but while we looked at the replays of Nakashima and Mir's crash, checkered flag has come out, and Stephen Odendahl is the quickest rider.
Trying to listen into what Stephen Odendahl was saying. Now moved over to Joe Roberts, the likeable American.
First and second for NTS.
How about that, eh? They're going to be very happy, aren't they, as the clock has ticked down. And the checkered flag is out, but I think everybody's in the pits, aren't they? Yes, everybody is in the pits, because either the ones who haven't got the checkered flag.
Voy a intentar de ponerla en el Instagram, ¿vale? Si vas al Instagram de Actualidad MotoGP, la voy a subir ahora mismo, ¿vale?
Did you see what I did? Did you?
So it's quite treacherous. The conditions were, the rear was stepping out everywhere, the front was tucking when you were breaking in a straight line.
Vale, pues ya estamos con esto. Esto ya no va a cambiar. Te lo subo a Actualidad MotoGP al WhatsApp, perdón, al Instagram, ¿vale? Espero que...
Rookies will be out on track again later, Matt. Not too sure.
Well, but then well, this weather to pursue some debriefs, get yourself an umbrella, boy. Well, there is confirmation. No change on the overall times this afternoon due to the weather and mixed conditions. Vanara is fastest from Baldassari, Schrotter, Marquez, Quartararo, Marini, Locatelli, Lowe's and Navarro.
Ok, pues bueno chicos, ya está, se acabó por hoy. Alex, si la quieres la tienes en el Instagram, ¿vale? Tienes en el Instagram de Actualidad MotoGP, la acabo de subir. Bueno chicos, ahora sí que nos vamos. Ahora sí que nos vamos.
Nakashima was 18th from Danny Kent, Xavier Vierge, Dominic Egerter, Carolina Howie, Stefano Manzi, Rennie Gardner and Stephen Odendahl in 25th overall, but fastest in this particular session.
Pues vale. Pues ya estamos aquí. Vale, pues oye, que va a llover mucho, que la situación del tiempo va a ser compleja y que en mojado Márquez tiene ventaja y en seco las Ducatis tienen ventaja. En castellano hemos dejado muchísimo la locución de los ingleses, o sea que voy a hacer una despedida en castellano porque yo creo que los demás en inglés más o menos ya se ha ido entendiendo. Las Ducati en seco son las más rápidas, el Marc en mojado es el más rápido. Estemos preparados este fin de semana porque será una cuestión de según le dé al tiempo, ¿vale? Entonces, dale aquí, suscríbete si no eres ya suscriptor, dale a la campanilla para recibir las notificaciones, porque a veces si eres suscriptor pero no le das a la campanilla, no te avisa cuando emitimos en directo. Y vamos a seguir con el fin de semana. Lo más probable es que mañana sea en mojado, variable, como hoy, y el domingo sea en seco, pero aún no lo sabemos. Así pues, gracias, deja tus comentarios, gracias por los que habéis seguido el chat en directo. Hoy ha sido un poco más aburrido de lo normal, porque claro, como ha estado parado tanto tiempo por la lluvia, pero bueno, nos vemos pronto, ¿vale? Thanks for being there. Thanks to all the Indonesian and Malaysian people that have been with us. A bit boring day for the rain because we expected an FP2 very emotional with Marquez getting closer to the Ducatis on the drive, but it doesn't happen that way. What happened is that we start a heavy rain that changed everything, and what we're gonna see, likely gonna see, is rain for tomorrow and probably sunny whole day, the whole day sunny on Sunday. So we have to say that on the dry, the Ducati's factory have a head start, and on the wet, Marquez is better, a lot better than the rest. Let's wait for the weather, and I'll see you tomorrow. You know that you can subscribe here, and you can also use the belly button for the notifications, because this weekend is not gonna be predictable. It's gonna be depending on the weather. Each session is going to change everything. So thanks for being there, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.